Oh, did you want to
No,
start?
go ahead.
Hi, welcome to today's episode of Uncomfortable Truths Podcast. I'm your co-host, Lindsay.
The more voice
And today we're going to discuss a few different topics. Hopefully you'll relate or maybe not, but either way, it'll be a good conversation. So our first question today that we're going to discuss is, does social media help or hurt? Like the general society. How do you feel about it?
I think it hurts. I think it hurts because men can get women nowadays. It's hard because if you're not on social media, you're gonna have a nice car, you're gonna have a lot of followers. They're not really paying you attention unless they down on their luck themselves.
Okay. Okay. So sorry. I'm like, you still going? Okay. So I'm inclined to agree that social media hurts, but it's annoying because I feel like it helps a lot too. I will say my issue with social media and where I feel it hurts is because, for example, what you just said, I feel like social media does make it seem like that. And the reality is there's a lot of perfectly, I'm not going to say that those women you're talking about are abnormal because that's rude, but perfectly, well-rounded, understanding, non-materialistic women out here who have no problem with a guy. Like I prefer a guy that has no social media. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't care if you have 5 followers, that's totally fine. A lot of people with followers these days, they're not even real followers.
Exactly.
So, there's that. Unless you have a business, like that's totally fine. But, I think social media does hurt because I think anytime you give people a thing, we're going to screw it up.
Yes.
We're the problem.
Yes.
We're the drama. That's how I feel. But what are some of the other negative things that you see on social media?
Booty sells. Booty sells on social media.
But it always sold though. Like there were
Yes.
magazines, there were videos. You
Oh,
went to the
songs.
Triple X video back in the 70s and 80s. All of Times Square was for booty.
Do the twist, yeah. Oh, number booty songs.
Yeah. So, all right. So booty. What else? I can't believe I just said that. Okay.
It's easy to make money if you know what you're doing.
Okay. So that's a positive.
That's a positive. It's easy to know what you're doing. But usually people like abuse other social media sites like OnlyFans. I don't think OnlyFans is meant for porn. I think OnlyFans is meant for people that have fans, singers, athletes, and they can see pictures, rare pictures on that. But I think because of COVID, they turned it to a porn site.
Absolutely. I mean, people had to make money. It was, I couldn't believe there were couples doing it. I'm like, okay. But, porn, prostitution is some of like the oldest forms of making money.
It's legal now, though. It's kind of legal now.
It's as long as anything that can be prostitution, no, with the exception of I don't know if it's the state of Nevada or the city of Las Vegas, but if it can be taxed, the government will let you do it. Yes. They're like, all right, fine. Yes. OnlyFans people, I'm pretty sure they were paying some hefty taxes, making millions of dollars. But no, I do. It's annoying because I feel like social media is a very free space, but like I said, a lot of people can't be trusted with that. So you're talking kids, you're talking to people who have ill intent, people like you and me who are not trying to do anything negative. It's great, but I will also say the way it affects us in ways that we don't even know. Like I make a point to follow people who I feel like are aligned with what I believe in. So I am 30, no kids, not married, and I like to follow women who I feel are somewhat similar, right? Like I like to see positive images of what I see myself as. I also like to follow women that look like me, right? So I don't have triple X breasts. I don't have a BBL. So there's no point in me following that because, you don't know what it's doing to you subconsciously. Like, oh, damn, I think I need to fix this. I think I need to do that. So that's where I think that, we need to pay attention. We have our algorithm already supports what we believe in. So you just have to, or what you at least enjoy. So if you just stay away from the negative stuff, it should, like a lot of my Instagram is like puppies and, clothes. That's safe. Like, what's your algorithm? Is that personal?
The stuff I look at is basically business-wise. So AI technology, how to get funding, followers, how you get followers.
Okay.
Like stuff like that. I try to stay away from the, like I said, the big booties and all that.
What's your issue with booty? It's totally fine. You're grown.
No, it's just like you never know if that stuff is real or fake or not.
Okay, true.
Photoshopped. Yeah. So for me to sit there all day liking, people like you never notice like a lot of their pictures, they be from their back. For sure.
Because they know that's what y'all like.
they always turn around.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, they put their hand in their knee.
Yeah.
I used to hate that. They put their hand in their knee. I used to hate that back in the day.
Yeah. Or they'll like pop their leg out a certain way, and I'm just like, and then I know it definitely is a trick because I tried it before, and I don't have ass. It's not flat, but it's not like boom. So that being said, you pop your leg out a little bit, and it looks like and I'm like, that's not mine. I'm lying. Granted, it's not. It's not Photoshop. It is still technically mine. I just popped the muscle out a little bit, but I totally get you. But just booty isn't bad. It's what you do with it, right? You can look at it all you want. You're grown. There's straight females that look at booty. Sometimes they just look nice, like fake or otherwise. No judgment.
Now you got females look at man butts.
Yeah.
Especially in like football.
They do. Like you're right. Yeah. I never got with that one. When I've seen women say like nice butt, I'm just like, that's not what I'm looking for. But to each his own. So yeah. So final verdict: social media
can be good, but people abuse it.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. But they just need people like us to spread the positivity and stay away from booty and all the bad things.
Do you feel social media help people cheat?
I don't think it doesn't help because I will say this. I don't have the statistics, but I'm inclined to say that cheating hasn't gone up because of social media. It is changing the way that you connect with people. Yes. But back in the day, there was people that had families down the block, and the wife and kids had no idea.
I know people like that.
Yeah. So damn. So sorry. But anyway, that being said, that's a thing. I don't think it's a tool for sure. But I think if anything, it just means you don't have to leave the house to do it. So yeah, it does assist.
Yeah. I know people like that. I know people that kids with 3 different girls in the same block. I know people that was raised with somebody saying they cousin, and then when he's like 30, it's like, oh, I'm really your sister. I'm really your brother.
Yeah, and yeah. So, did they use social media to do it?
No. That the guy that had 3 girls pregnant on the same block, he did credit cards, so everybody wanted him. He was able to sleep with girls easily because he had money. And the other people, it was just an old man from the South that was sleeping around, and he brung a girl. No one would say this is your cousin, but really that was his daughter.
Man, people are grimy.
Yeah, the person that found out they like 30 that they were sisters.
I mean, the good thing is I guess they were already in each other's lives.
Yeah, but
that's different. Like it's. Yeah. I didn't know you were my sister this whole time.
Yeah, father going and all that.
Yeah,
and it comes out. Yeah,
that's really upsetting. So I actually want to. I know this wasn't listed on what we were going to talk about today, but I'm curious. Like, do you think that most women only want money from men?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think women want financial comfort.
Okay.
They want to be able to not go to work. They want to be able to sit home and just spurs, eat what they want, hang out when they want, travel when they want. But that's not reality, and it's only a handful of guys able to provide stuff like that.
So you feel so I emphasize the word most because I wanted to make sure that I had it right. Like you feel like more than half women are like that. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is like based on social media or like the women you're around?
Both.
Okay.
I used to freaking bars a lot. Like literally like probably 3-4 bars a week. Different days out the week. Especially Tuesdays. Taco Tuesday, bar. Seafood Thursday, bar. Weekends, bar. Fight night, bar. Basketball game, bar. Like, so I always had a bar.
Right.
And these women, you had to find ones that was in line with me, but there are some women that wasn't in line with me. Like, for example, it was a girl named Paris. She had sex with men for $5,000.
Okay.
Because she said, if you can't support my kid, there's no point in me dealing with you. So my first meetings with her, she always was mean to me, always mean to me, always mean to me. And at this time, I was so weed. And she was, can I buy some weed off you? I told her no. I was adamant. I'm like, no. She's like, why? I said, you never always disrespect me. You never say hi. You always rude to me.
About what I saw to you.
So she like, oh, that's that. So I, selling the weed for like double the price. So if it was like $20, I ended up selling it for $60. So she ended up buying the weed. And after that, every time that girl see me, hi. I even had her in a bar looking at her tattoos one day. And like, I guess because I was so aggressive at that moment, she'd see me in a different light.
Okay.
But before, she was not trying to have nothing to do with me at all.
So question, could it be the environment that you frequented?
Yes.
Okay.
Bar setting, yes. It was underground bar.
Right.
So a lot of stuff going on. I seen girls get carried out of bathrooms. stuff like that. Get put on the curb, then the guys come back inside. So
like because they were drunk or
yeah,
something. Okay,
the energy.
I was like, wait, what's happening?
It was underground, so it's a lot of stuff in there that normally a normal bar, a normal club, that would never happen. So I guess that started energy, like because a lot of people in there, like I said, they had credit cards, they had some kind of money. They drove Lamborghinis, some of them drove BMWs, and I was just in there, a regular guy, no car, take the train, wear regular clothes, and so she probably didn't see me as interesting until I was aggressive towards her.
Right. No, I'm never gonna say that there are not women like that, because they're 100%. All the people in this world, there's a combination of everything, right? But the funny thing is, that's why I asked you about your experience, because in my experience, I have mostly female friends, right? Most of them make six figures after, like, one's a pharmacist, one is a CPA, one is a chef, one is, and she works two jobs actually. Who else do I have? I have a project manager, and all of them do really well. And the reality is, they are looking for men who are equally yoked with them, right? Like, they're making six figures and they feel like if I want to go live the way I want to live, and you making, $20,000 a year, that ain't really gonna work, which I totally get, because that's frustrating. You want to move the way you move, and traditionally, the way it's been set up, like, we didn't set up this way. Traditionally in society, we don't pay for men, and the reality is, in the situations where some of us do, y'all get an attitude, like, oh, you trying to say I can't, and it's like, I just was. So I think, unfortunately, like, I've seen this a lot. I feel like both men and women go for the wrong thing. There's some guys that want to wine and dine you and pay for extravagant things all the time, and I feel like they happen to get the girls that don't want that, and vice versa, right? And there's women that are just like, I want a guy to take care of me, and they happen to find a guy that can't do that, and then it's a problem, like, and I think that's unfair. I feel like in life we tend to meet the opposite, and then unfortunately, naturally, it gives us this bad taste in our mouth, like, man, all these guys want is for me to, do this, and men are like, all these women want is this. It's just like, I don't think we're meeting the right people, because we're all out there. I hear us complain like, damn, there's no nice guys out here. Like, I don't need you to make $1 million. I just want to be like, hey, we could pay the bills, however y'all split, that's y'all business, and we can go on vacation when we want. Like, if someone said let's go on vacation, I have no problem paying my half. That's what I make money for. So sorry, that was a lot.
Yeah. Nah, I totally agree with everything you said, but you ever realize a rich man would date a broke girl?
Yes.
He would date a broke girl. He would take out from the trenches.
Yes.
Make sure her life is good.
There's women that do that too, though.
Yes, but how often?
But remember what I said about society. That was never the setup. So I feel like we get blamed for perpetuating the same thing that y'all been telling us for a while. Because again, statistically, men don't love women that make money. They feel emasculated. They feel like, well, I'm the man of the house. And I'm gonna be real with you. This may sound messed up, but if I'm making at least what you're making, you're not going to tell me what I'm doing. We're a unit. We work together. We consult with each other. And that's actually, in my personal opinion, I don't think I would like to, because yes, there's a life that comes along with someone that has millions of dollars that can take care of you. But I believe in being equally yoked, and I don't find it wrong for someone, whether it's conscious or not, to say, I pay all the bills and you have this life because of me, so I'm gonna need you to do what I want you to do. I don't believe in that, so it's not gonna work for me. And I think you have a right to say that. I think it's totally your right to say, you function off of my paycheck, so why is dinner not ready? You're right. So it won't be, and I don't need to be with you. Like, and then all those same guys will be like, well, like, if you ask them, well, is there a way that you could cook dinner for me? And the reality is, well, like, what are you doing all day? Again, a valid question. So I just, like, to your point, you're right. That does not happen as often, but there's also a pushback with y'all sometimes. Like, I've seen men that don't really like educated women. I can't say why. I've never spoken to them and really gotten to the nitty-gritty of it. And the reality is, they probably need to do the same thing in therapy. But why don't you like a woman that can have a conversation with you? Why I feel like a lot of men go for the Instagram models that have nothing to really say. And then it's just like, these bees be so stupid. It's like, nah, that's what you chose. Like, there's very smart women out here.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
definitely. No, definitely. People chick and choose who they want. Like, I'm very picky who I choose, who I date, who I mess with, because I don't want to deal with no headaches, no problems.
Right.
And I don't want to keep repeating past stuff I did. So if I meet a girl and she just like the girl I met last time, I was with last time, I'm going to pass on her.
Right. It didn't work out for a reason,
Yes.
right?
You know, I turn down a lot of girls all the time, and it always go. And usually it goes bad because a girl don't like you turn her down. She don't. The girl, a female don't like rejection. Like she would make you like hell if you reject her.
Okay.
You know, and like then as soon as you give her attention, she would ghost you. You know, so I had it both ways. I had girls I didn't pay no attention to, and then as soon as I paid them some attention, I may hit it once or twice, and then they gone.
So can I also add to that? Y'all do the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Y'all came up with ghosting. And something I have learned too, just by watching people, is really messed up, but I think that's just how people work. You have one bad experience, so you're like, that's not gonna happen to me again. I'm gonna do it to the next person. And it's like a cycle of people hurting people and nobody really dealing with the issue at hand, which is you were rejected once, you don't want that to ever happen again. So you try to do it to someone else first. It's totally natural, but it needs to be dealt with because we just now, instead of one guy saying, I'm never gonna let a girl hurt me again, now you got her hurting other guys because you hurt her, and those guys are hurting other guys. It's just a mess. So, you know, I lost my train of thought, but I was saying y'all do the exact same thing, ghosting and stuff like that. Also, you're right. Some women do not like to be rejected, and they can make your life hell. I come from this school of thought where I'm not gonna be looking crazy. You don't want to answer the phone, that's totally fine. I'm moving on. The women that I hang out with are the exact same way. I like to say we're equally yoked. That being said, do you know what happens when men get rejected? You may find us in a ditch somewhere. That statistically, we heard
if they violent, yes.
Yeah, and then or all types of names, and you know that were, you know, revenge porn was invented by y'all. You know, so that being said, I think I'm not at all disagreeing with the fact that, you know, that has happened to you, your experience, and I hear these things, right? Like, I'm not gonna say women are always saints. People are screwed up. But you got to remember, like, or I feel like men in general, I'm not saying you specifically, but I feel like men in general have to remember, where did some of this start? Because women, we never had power. History-wise, we like maybe certain countries, right, with the queen and stuff like that. But even in countries where there was a queen, men still ran it.
Nah, you're definitely right.
So
Parliament.
So, you know, that being said, like, people love to say, oh, women in America have all this freedom. I saw something on Instagram recently. I forgot her name, but she's this New York. She lives in New York. I think her name is Natalia or something like that. Spanish girl from the Bronx, and she's hilarious. But she said, real talk, what's scary about the dark if there are not men?
Okay, I keep thinking about this one video I saw of this person talking about how men are the reason that the dark is something to be feared.
And I was like, that's a damn good question, because the rats are not going to run up on me. The roaches are not going to run up on me in the street, but a man will. When women are pushed in subway for saying no, or stabbed up, like there was a set of twins in Queens a couple months ago. They rejected this guy and he stabbed one of them.
Yeah, I see
so
that. I see that.
So again, can women be wild and violent? Hell yeah. But I feel like we definitely are victims to them. I don't think you walk out at night saying, which girl's gonna stab me if I say no. You know, if anything, there's a emotional connection.
Then that's when the violence comes.
Yeah.
But men does it off rip. You're right about that. I seen that for myself. A girl will pass. How you doing, sexy? Ew. FUB.
Yeah.
You know, I see that all the time. Instead of them just being like, okay, or just going about their business. That girl got she don't have to say hi to you.
Yeah.
She don't have to speak to you. She don't have to give you any time of day. And the fact that the guy don't understand that shows that his weakness. That shows his weakness, instead of him showing strength.
Right.
By saying, okay, she said no.
Yeah.
So let me go move to the next one.
And then I will say, to play devil's advocate, like on your side a little bit, I don't think that saying ill is appropriate. I feel like, okay, well, one could say saying hey sexy is derogatory too, which is valid. So in both cases, I feel like I get the woman saying ill, but in terms of safety, I'd like, thank you so much. And I shouldn't have to do that because it makes me uncomfortable. What makes me more uncomfortable is the idea that me saying ill to this man or rolling my eyes or acting like I didn't hear him is going to have him pull me by my hair and throw me in the street. You know what I mean? But I do believe in general respect. And the annoying part about this is a lot of y'all don't know that it's disrespectful. See, yes, it is a compliment to be called sexy, but it's also not a compliment to some. So, you know, there's women that is just like, that's like, why would you say that to me? And I'm just like, I totally understand. Thank you. But I gotta go, you know, like, so, you know, it's just, the world is messed up. And I feel like we have to have more conversations like these, men and women. And I'm not talking about the extremists like incels or anything like that. I'm talking about like, you know, regular people like you and me just discussing, hey, you know, this is what I experienced and this is what I experienced. And it's like, darn, so the world exists with both these experiences. Maybe one group isn't all bad. Not saying that you were saying that. But yeah, that's just my take on it. So I was just curious.
Yes, I totally agree. Let's talk about the blame game.
Okay.
Why do people blame everyone but themselves for their problems?
All right. My simple answer is I think people are scared. I think it's fear. I'll elaborate by saying when you really force someone to look at themselves and really consider what role they played in their demise, in their bad, or in their misfortune, whatever it is, I think that scares people to death. So it's easier to be like, well, it was you. And that's why people avoid therapy, because there's not one therapist that I have seen that says, yeah, it was them. Like it was all them. Instead, they'll ask you like, okay, like not in these exact words, but kind of get to like, well, what could you do to react differently to this person who is doing these things or whatever it is? And that being said, I think it's fear. Like when you, like no one wants to be told it's your fault. And I don't think that's always what's going to happen. But the fear of that happening, like, no, it was you. Like I got cheated on because of you. And it's like, yes, that person chose to cheat, but could it have also been because, you know, you were neglecting them, whatever it is now? And maybe that's a bad example because that, or maybe it's a good one. It's up to you. But you know what, or perfect example, when I have conflict with people, I often, like, if I feel it's relevant enough or I care about this person enough to resolve it, I'll say, hey, when we were having that conversation the other day, was there something that I did to upset you? And then if the response is no, then I'll be like, okay, well, then I just wanted to make sure you weren't offended because maybe you responded to me in a way that I didn't like because I did something that you didn't like. Or if they say yes, then I'll be like, okay, then that opens the line for communication. But I immediately went into it or go into it with, it's just something I did, because every reaction, like, you know, the therapist, Kendra, on Monday was saying, you know, there's a reaction that's caused by another reaction. And yeah, a lot of time people just don't walk into a room and say, I hate you. Like you get on my nerves or whatever it is. There's a reason they hate you or whatever it is. So like I said, the short answer of it is I think people are afraid to recognize that they played a role in something. It's easier to say, well, it was you, and just brush it off. How about you?
Yes, I totally agree. And hate is so strong that people will go to that because, like, for me, example, I'm using myself for example. I could dislike somebody, but it's not always there. It's not always there. I may see you, I may remember, but I'm not gonna be negative towards you or do something to me to make me, you know, come at you in that way. But I see, like, that's why I could maybe come with the question, because I had a friend, he called his baby mother.
Okay.
And he wanted to talk to her about the kids. He's like, yeah, the kids, such. She like, you gonna pay for this? He said, I called because I was gonna figure out how you wanted to do this and all that. Such, you fucking idiot. Like something like that. Like, and he's like, watch your effing mouth. And then repeat what she said.
Right.
And she like, I don't like you. You know, I don't like you. Just that. This month was, you almost 40 years old. Your kid's about to go to college, and yet you're still angry. Why are you so angry? You need to grow up. And then he hung up the phone on her. And then she called back with like, you got the right one today. You got the right one today. This and that. Like, why are you so, like, the whole conversation was not for you to be angry. It was something positive for the kids. And you just go off anger and hatred over something that probably happened years ago. Because you and this guy haven't been together for years. Like years. It's been at least probably 10 years.
Yeah, for sure. That, I don't... That's wrong. Her response was wrong. I'm gonna start out by saying that. Like, but I think, like, I'm glad you used that you mentioned that, because like there's, how do I put it this way? I'm not attacking men.
Mhm.
I promise. I'm gonna start by saying that. But I feel like in society, we have not given you guys a space to learn how to articulate your feelings and resolve issues.
Mhm.
That's not manly. That's what people say. It's not manly.
Not attractive.
It's not attractive. Boys don't do that. And women are very expressive, usually. Not all women. Some women won't share anything either. But, you know, usually the combination is a guy that doesn't really say his feelings and a woman that tell you all her feelings. So in that situation, I don't know them. She could be an evil monster. But let's just say for the sake of, you know, this conversation, she isn't. You're right. Maybe that did come from years ago, but it's something I've noticed that a lot of y'all do, not all, I'm not going to say most, but a lot of y'all do is y'all don't deal with it or you brush it off. And we're still sitting there with the residual feelings of this was never resolved. It hurt me 5 years ago when you left me with this kid and now you want to come back in his life. Or it hurt me 10 years ago when you cheated on me and we kind of tried to work it out, but then it didn't work. You know, whatever the situation was in that relationship. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but you know, so it builds up. And yes, after 10 years, I'm still pissed because that's what you are when you don't resolve issues. It just builds up, builds up. Next thing you know, you're like, you know, like, so yeah.
Yeah, but you got it. The person got to want to resolve the issue.
Yeah.
So it's one person, like we said the other day.
Yeah.
It's always one person that's trying. And so it's no person that's not trying.
For sure.
It being negative. Like that situation, that person was not trying to be negative. He was just talking about their life.
But what happened before that is what I'm saying. See, when you and anybody, I'm gonna take relationships out of it. If you have a conflict with somebody and they're like, I'm over it, and it's like I'm trying to resolve this with you, and they're like, I'm fine. I don't know what the problem is. And it's like, yo, I'm trying to. So you can't fix something. Like just like she said, you can't fix something that the other person doesn't want to fix or feel has already been resolved. Like I use my dad as an example. I tried to address him about something, and he's like, well, that's in the past. And I'm like, okay, I get that it's in the past, but like, you know, I am now a 30-year-old woman addressing you in the way that you moved with like my parents were married and like in their divorce, the way that he was moving. And he's like, all right, what you need me to do to make you feel better? And I'm like, that, oh my God, like just address the issue. Like say I wasn't like, you always tried to act like you were the saint and like just say you weren't a saint. Like it was a divorce. I have no problem saying that both y'all probably played dirty, but you had the resources to play dirtier. Let's just say it. Like I'm not a kid. And he would always say to me, you're a kid. So now I'm 30 now and I'm old enough to have a family and get a divorce.
So now you're old enough to understand.
Yeah, so now I get it. And like and I wasn't 2 when this was happening. I was like 8 all the way through 13. So I'm like, I definitely saw it. It was weird then. And now I'm able to articulate and really process as a grown woman. And I can say as a grown woman, you was foul. But he doesn't want to, like, he's just like, yo, it's in the past. So that being said, I'm able to, I think I'm a little bit, or I accept people where they are. I try to. So in that case, I'm like, the little bit that he gave me when he just blurted out, fine, you want me to say I did something wrong? I did something wrong. And I'm like, that's an apology for him. I will take it. But he's also not my partner, right? He's my dad. So I'm like, I can let you rock with that. Again, I'm grown. I'm 30. He's about to be 70. I'm like, you know what? You go over there. But I'm not going to have that type of anger. And, you know, so that being said, it's hard to resolve something for yourself when the other person won't resolve it in an effective way or in a way that works for you. Like when you're in a relationship, you have that respect for each other, hopefully, to say, what can I do to make this better for you? But when you're broken up, you don't have the obligation anymore. But the thing is, we still should be like, if you're sharing kids, you should definitely be finding a way to still act in that way, just for the sake of your kids. Because now that kid is sitting here watching his parents go back and forth about his dad picking him up.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like I would be sitting there like, dang, why they arguing now? Am I the problem?
Definitely.
So I agree with you. She was wrong for that, but I'm just, like I said, I'm just curious. Was there anything before that he's like, you know,
it's a lot of bad history, but like, it's history, and I understand, like you said, there's no closure for her and all that. But if she really wanted closure, she could have a sit down. Easy.
Does he want to sit down?
No, definitely. He definitely would sit down.
Okay.
And I think
she's never asked him before.
The last time that he tried to do a sit down, she asked for him to rent an Airbnb.
For what?
So her and the kids could spend time together as, I guess, like a family inside the Airbnb. But he never did it because he felt that you got an apartment. Like, why can't we just hang out in your apartment?
And she wasn't offered to split it or anything?
Yeah, like No, she wanted him to pay everything and then get the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And you never know. She probably left the kids in the Airbnb. I'll be right back.
I would say that is not a way to resolve anything. Staying with the person with like that doesn't sound effective. I ain't no therapist. But I would say if you want to resolve something, you sit face to face and you talk like you and I are. You don't say, well, let's just rent out a place and we could all be a family, because the kids are a distraction. We need to talk as adults. Like, find a sitter for the kids and hopefully come back as whole new parents, right? Definitely. So yeah, with the information you give me, that doesn't sound right. And she very easily could be on some get back. I totally get it. I'm not, get back is never right, but sometimes it's understandable. Like I said, I don't know the situation, and she could definitely be the problem.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think some women want to make the person that they was previous with suffer. And I think that's what she wanted to do to that guy. She wanted him to suffer. She wanted him to feel bad. And the fact that he don't care no more. Before he used to care. He used to care a lot, like very hands-on. But the fact that he don't care no more, I think that hurts her. So that she can't call and be like, I need $100. I need such and such. And he runs and go give it to her.
Right.
Or anything. Before he used to try to please her all the time.
Right.
He was always trying to please her. And then once he realized, like, yo, I could get girls. Like, I don't.
Is he on child support by chance? No. Okay.
Never was on child support, nothing like that.
But he contributes.
Yes, he contributes. He contributes. He always been in the kids' lives. You know. So let's go to the next question. So another question I had is, if the mother of someone's kids is toxic and abusive verbally and mentally, should the man give up, or are they still a deadbeat?
Is she toxic and abusive towards the kids or him? To him?
Yes.
I don't think you should ever give up when it comes to your kids. There's way worse elements out there that we would fight against. So I think if it's worth it and you want to be in your kids' lives, you should never give up. So there's that. I think you should I think you need to handle it a certain way. I believe in the court system. If I were to ever be divorcing, because I from my life, I don't believe in kids out of wedlock. So with that being said, I would be getting a divorce. It wouldn't just be like, oh, we just didn't work out. So that being said, the divorce and child support and all that would be handled. Now, if you choose to, and child support is based off what you make. The child support that you give or that I give, because sometimes the other way around, right? So that, or sometimes it's joint custody, in which case nobody gives child support. So I think that's where I can't speak as a person that's not Black. So I feel in our community, we need to learn how. I know we're a little bit untrusting of the court system, but I feel like sometimes it can be very helpful, because nobody can play with you when you have something in place saying, hey, I see my kid 5 days a week or whatever it is. I see them every other week. And I know that takes money and resources too. But that being said, I think if you're dealing with a truly toxic situation, then you need to get the authorities involved and have some type of setup, because you can't violate that.
He went through the court system too, and backfired on him, where like he ended up doing more programs than she did.
The court system in terms of, you got a clean record, this person got a clean record, or at least in that moment, nothing related to the kids. And it's like, well, look, we want to separate amicably and we want to figure out something with the kids on paper. That's why I believe in prenups. I believe child support. I believe in all that stuff, because I think we've seen enough. Like, we love to say, oh my God, but if it's true love, here's the thing. True love still allows people to be better. True love actually is one of the reasons why people are like heinous. Like, without that emotion, think about it. If you don't care about somebody, you don't be into, you be like, okay, you go your way, I go mine. But yeah, no, I think those things are very necessary. You should come up with these solutions or these plan Bs while you're on plan A. So that way you're thinking about it with a clean mind, and, you know, as people that care about each other. So that way, when it comes down to the actual, like the finite act that is a divorce or, you know, a breakup, you're like, okay, this is what we decided and this is fair. Because when we did this, we weren't pissed at each other. And maybe you should have a cheating clause in there, or, you know, you hit me clause. You can put whatever you want in a prenup or a postnup. But, you know, I think as a community, we need to be, in some ways, a little bit more open to letting the system help us out, because it can be very helpful. So that's how you deal with the toxic. Where you say, look, I'm taking you to court.
And like another thing about family court, the kids get a lawyer too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so even if it's a baby, that baby got a lawyer. So that lawyer speaks for the baby.
Right.
So it's the government, like, I want this guy to take an English minutes class, and then the lawyer, the kid's lawyer, like, yeah, I totally agree. The judge is going with that regardless.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it works and all that. But the story I was telling about the guy, like, he's no longer with us. But the last part of the story that happens with him is he felt one of the kids wasn't his. So he's telling the courts that, like, I think one of these kids not mine. The girl says, the one you think that's yours, it's not yours. So he had it confused. So the one he was fighting for, he's like, no, that's not your kid. Like, you know?
See, I don't like that either.
You know, so it's a lot of malicious stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, I don't like I don't like people. I don't like people when they're deceitful. I don't like deceitful acts. To know that somebody's kid is not like, I totally get, like, benefit of the doubt. Some people do it because of survival. Like, this person will leave and we'll be on the street if I tell them the truth, or whatever. But a lot of the time, people lie about things like when the guy lies about a family down the road and a woman lies about the kid in the house being his. They're both wrong, and they're doing it for a reason. And usually, it's because it's going to benefit them to keep that to themselves, right? And I don't like that. And that was foul. She waited for him to ask. Like, that's crazy.
Wait for he go to court and all that to be like, what you think is yours is not your kid.
Nah, that's crazy. Yeah. See, that would make me, I'm not condoning it, but that would make me want to pop you. Yeah. Like that, that's not okay. Like, yeah.
When a man trying and then a woman so verbally abusive, mentally abusive, it set his toll. It has the toll to it. Yes, he should never give up on his kids, but if he had to deal with that, now if say you have no family to do a third party, or say he don't trust the government and the police, stuff like that, so now he just got to put up with the abuse. Every time he pick up the kid,
no one. I hear you, but life is full of tough choices, right? Especially as minorities, right? It's always a choice. So I get that he don't trust the system, but he doesn't have to deal with that. So you got to pick something. The lesser two evils, and the lesser two evils might be the court saying, man, why won't you let this individual see his kids? So, I totally get it. Like I said, as a community, we're not very trusting of the system, the government, the law. I get it. But in some ways, I think we need to assess our situation and say, how is this going to hurt me? And I think that's what it comes down to. Also, regarding child support, like I said, it comes out of, it depends on what you make. Like, if you make $20 a day, they're not going to be asking for $1 million for child support. And then people are like, this bothers me too. People are like, it don't cost that much to raise a baby. Like, why she need all this money? And I'm like, daycare. When I heard what daycare costs, I said, wait, to watch one kid for how long? For a week? I'm like, no, we're gonna lock him in a little cage and don't move. We're gonna do what we do with dogs, because this is crazy. This is insanity. Are you looking up the cost of it? No. I'm gonna look up the situation. Okay. But no, the cost of daycare is insane. The cost of food, and kids never stop eating. All right. What else? The cost of that, their clothes. They want to run around in dirt. They want to scrape their knees and rip holes in their clothes so they don't need more clothes. Then actually the utilities that they use, because I wasn't one of these kids, but you know how many kids just leave the lights on for no darn reason? So now I gotta pay extra electricity. And that being said, the child support, yes, it should be up there, because having sole custody of a kid and requiring and being required to pay all the bills that come along with said kid is crazy. Yes.
Okay, now what you were saying about child support and all that, it depends on certain people.
Okay.
If you a low income family, there's ways around that. You can go to welfare. They'll pay for your child care and all that. Especially if you got a job.
Right.
So on. Now, Tyrese, for example, Tyrese Gibson. You familiar with his story? What happened with him recently?
Not his story. I just know he's always crying.
Yeah. I know. So basically, he was ordered to pay $10,000 a month.
Okay.
The woman's saying that's not enough.
Okay.
She's struggling.
Okay.
With $10,000 a month. Would you be struggling with $10,000 a month?
Is it possible that
I influenced her to try and get me for $20,000 a month for a 2-year-old? No.
Is it? Yeah.
No. We never spent $20,000 on my daughter when we were together. And I had the money.
Yeah, but no.
I don't like, who spends that kind of money on a kid? She was 1 when she took my baby from me. We never spent $20,000 a month on our child, and the credit card was wide open. So what the fuck do you suddenly need that kind of money for?
You change the quality of life.
I was going to say the exact same
What
thing.
happened?
Like
No, he
the
didn't.
quality,
No, he didn't.
of life.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
Do
he
you?
did.
You don't wait, Ish. You don't think that the quality of
He
her
did.
life changed simply
He
by
did.
simply by entering his existence and his orbit?
Did you hear what he said first?
Yeah.
He said
Yeah, he never spent that.
during
When
the
they were
same
together.
quality of life, you did not spend $20,000 in 1 month
And she never became
with an
me,
open credit
even while
card.
being
So
with
the
me.
$20,000 a month, you can. It's not changing the quality of life.
Right.
He's saying with the high quality of life that we had, we didn't spend 20 bands. So now, why is $20,000 a month needed if we never spent that?
He
is
also
what he
said.
And she
he
also
said-
complained
he also
every
said-
step of the
but
way
he also
about
said,
spending or
"And I had it."
overspending.
He also said, "And I had it, and we never did that."
True.
Okay, but now the person that had it is gone.
You miss it. You pivoted, but go ahead.
How?
No,
The expenses are the expenses. The the expenses are the expenses. He's saying if let's say
I never spent
That's-
20,000 on her
On the
a month.
yeah.
Let alone the child.
But she's not living with
It's
it.
not.
Everything
but it's
changes.
That, but it's not
She's-
that. It's not that number that changes the quality of life. You changed it.
No. She changed it. She left me and
Oh, yeah.
she's trying to take my life with her.
Yes.
It does not work that way.
That's exactly how it works.
We have
That's
a
how it
prenuptial agreement that was extremely aggressive and very detailed.
Okay.
And we both gladly signed it because I was sold and oversold on all the shit that she's not interested in. So when the fuck did you suddenly become interested?
Do you think social media played a role?
I can't answer anything for her. I can't
Okay.
put no words. I'm saying from a first person experience, I don't know who the fuck you are right now.
But for men at your level, you catching the short end of it with 20 a month.
I'm not paying that. That's what they're trying to get.
So, me, no. but here's the question though. If that, I don't want to speak out of turn because I never dealt with it in this way. But this is what I will say. If you two were together, what would you be spending on the kid and what life would they have? So oftentimes, again, not most, not all, but oftentimes there's men who can provide a certain way for their family, and when they divorce, because like we said, they don't always get with broke, they often get with girls who don't make as much. Are they supposed to go back to living a certain way? And the reality is, it's just like they can't.
They got no choice. But go ahead.
Well, now you have a kid. So if there was no kid involved, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you have a kid now. So now the kid who was living in this mansion half the week has to go live in. Now $10,000 isn't going to have you in a slum for sure.
No, definitely not.
But the idea I thought was to at least have the kid have a similar life than what they had before, because it's not the kid's fault you got divorced. So, that being said, I would not struggle with $10,000, but I, as a person alone, don't require $10,000 a month.
Exactly.
But I am also not trying to raise a kid. And depending on the custody arrangement, which I'm assuming she has sole custody. I mean, well, I'm not saying 10,000 should have been the number. And everybody's definition of struggle is a little different.
Yes.
I would say I struggle. Most people would not say that I struggle. There's another group of people that would be like, "Oh, you poor little thing." You know what I mean? So like $1,500 a month in student loans, I feel like I struggle. But at the end of the day, I still have enough money at the end of the year to go on at least one vacation, right? I don't have a kid though. And my rent is not New York City, it's typical New York City rent. I was one of the lucky ones. But that being said, $10,000, I don't know if that's the right, I don't know, that's struggle bus money. But I do believe your kid is not supposed to have this drastic change in life. That's where the idea of alimony comes from. Like, you've been providing for this spending, and alimony goes both ways. If you've been providing for your spouse this way, there's a certain amount of years that you have to pay to maintain their life. And I think that just goes back to prenups. And really paying attention, being intentional with who you get in relationships with, and more than anything, who you reproduce with. That, we don't pay enough attention to that. Like, I completely, like, look, I am pro-choice, which means I believe in your right to keep your child as well as, abort it. That being said, I do believe that we should be thinking a little bit harder about, do I want to have a kid with this man? Now, Often guys say, I don't want that kid. And that's totally your right to say, I want to have the kid and take care of it myself. And it's also your right to still take that man who did not want to be involved and put him on child support, because you also could have used the condom.
Yes.
There's two choices here, because men always want to make it sound like, man, you know, she did that. You know how to put on a condom. And just like we know how to say no glove, no love, like y'all can say that too. But y'all just don't, because it don't feel the same. It's fine. But I'm just saying, being a single person without kids does not feel the same as having a kid either. And I bet you want to go back. So that being said, I do think that we need to think about this, like, and even when the guy wants to be involved, that don't mean he needs to be, or it doesn't mean he's going to continue to want to be involved, because I'm going to use Erica Mena and Safari.
Okay.
Safari was all up that girl's ass. He wanted him some Erica. Oh my God, it's love of my life. I can't believe we having a baby. And then all of a sudden, which happens a lot with men and women, at a certain point, things get a little too real and you just detach. And that's not okay. And I'm not saying that she could have figured that out beforehand. I wasn't privy to their conversations, but there may have been signs that he's too immature to be having a kid and a wife right now, let alone 2 kids. Then when she got pregnant the second time, I was like, oh my God, you just love this torture.
Yeah.
But then I was also like, but Safari, you was sleeping with her raw, and you knew you didn't want the first kid, or at least if you didn't know at the time, you knew at the moment you were sleeping with her raw. That's what I'm saying. We have choices here. Both parties have choices.
Yeah. I don't like Erica Mena, so I would never touch Erica Mena. I don't know why he touched Erica Mena.
I don't know why she touched Safari.
Yeah.
I don't know why either one of them.
But I didn't like how Safari did homegirl, the Cuban girl. What's her name?
Oh, Amara. That's a mouthful. But yeah.
The Negra, something like that. Yeah, I didn't like how he treated her. He was wrong for how he did her. And you went over to Dominican Republic to propose to. It's not even real. It's not
probably
staged.
Not. Yeah.
If it's not staged. Like, you went over to Dominican Republic to propose to her. Coming to LA to talk to another girl that's worse than her. Like,
no. See,
that girl was trash. He was talking to.
Now I will say this. This is, and I hope it's coming off that I'm equal opportunity here as far as getting on both people. I don't believe that all women are right. I don't believe that all men are right. I believe that people in general are effed up, right? So that being said, I was looking at Amara sideways because I'm like, did we not all watch the same show? You work here. So I'm like, I know you saw the show. So I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not saying that people can't change, but it's not my job to be the first person after you crashed and burned to say, oh, he's changed, or at least let me see, let me try. I don't need to try it to know it's not gonna work. And some people need to consistently try these things over and over again. I'd be like, I don't, you must like it, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again with expecting a different result. I feel like Amada does that with different men. I feel like Safari does that with different women. And I feel like Erica Mena is in love with the idea of being in love. And that probably comes from something deep rooted in her childhood. And that's something that we all have childhood crap. You got to resolve that, you know, as an adult. But, you know, I'm also not going to completely blame, because I know that y'all know everything to say to get us to think that y'all are a good choice. Now, again, we are not mind readers. So, you know, sometimes we fall for it, sometimes we don't, or sometimes we say, oh, we make excuses, right? I think people do that in general. We're like, well, yeah, he did do this, but, or no, she did try to sleep with my homeboy, but she didn't mean it like that. And it's like, I don't know how she would have meant it. And then you still decide to get with her, and then you're like, the result is catastrophic. And it's like, yeah, it is. Like, you know, you made that choice though. So yeah, I think we all need therapy, and we all need to deal with things and be intentional with who we bring in our lives.
Yes. And I feel like you said, I think Amara fit that perfect scenario that you said. Because when she was dealing with her baby father in Dominican Republic, she was always giving him excuses. Like, he's an asshole. Leave him alone.
When she said, I'm going to bring the babies over there so they can meet the family, the family could come here. No. And then he had a wife or something like that. Now, I don't know if she knew or not. He said that she knew. She said she didn't. I don't know.
The mother was disrespectful. The mother was disrespectful. Like, she had no business to even going there. That's her country. That's her country. She makes money there. She got property there.
Right.
That's like, she go there all the time. But I'm saying, like, she wants to interact with that dude. Like, and if she do interact with the dude, she wants to give that dude too much power. She basically giving that dude power to treat her any kind of way. And I didn't like that, because I like Amara.
Okay, I like her too.
Yeah.
Like she gets on my nerves sometimes, but I feel like in general,
yeah.
I think she's a positive individual.
Yeah.
I just want when you like people, you really want them to do better for themselves. And I feel like she has all the power. She doesn't know it to do so much better for herself.
But you'd rather be a puncher bag.
And I think that definitely, I mean, she's shown it. Her relationship with her father.
Yeah.
And those again, you got to watch who you have kids with, because I would bet good money that at the end of the day, her issue stemmed from her relationship with her father. She gave him a place to stay while he was sick, and then he said, "Peace out, I'm going back to DR." Damn, like that hurts as a kid.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I can't imagine how that feels, and how you try to, how you accidentally choose the same man over and over again, and you're trying to recreate what you never had. It's really sad.
I think most celebrities, not most, there's some celebrities, or it's that punching bag or that love. They want that love.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez, for example,
Oh,
she was married 4 or 5 times, engaged probably 6, 7 times.
Some numbers.
Rihanna, like she ran through the whole rap squad.
We don't. Hold on. All right, well, J-Lo sorry, you finish. Go to your people.
Hold on. Like, I say Rihanna ran through the whole squad. She had a couple of partners going down the line before she got to A$AP Rocky.
Okay.
Then look at Lori Harvey. Like, to me, guys in the age.
Yeah, she should.
And the only reason I brought up them, because I want to talk about Diddy.
Okay, but we're not gonna just sweep past what you said and hit Diddy. So we will get to Diddy.
Okay, go ahead.
The first roadblock, Jennifer Lopez. Now, I don't see anything wrong with. Let me start over. She has admitted, because I was one of the few people who watched her documentary and her musical movie.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I watched it twice. I liked it. I don't know why. I was like, oh, this. I watched it as to laugh at it, because I was like, what is this thing? Is it a musical? Is it a documentary? Like, what is it? And I watched it, and I was like, damn. And I watched it again the next day. I thought it was very well put together. That's just me. Then I watched the documentary, and I'm like, all right, fine. Like, it was interesting. That being said, she has admitted that she has issues with finding the right guy and accepting, and she said, I can find the right guy and still have insecurities. And she mentioned her mother, her relationship with her mother, because sometimes your issues with men stem from your mother too. And she was also, I believe she was a middle child, and we've all heard of middle child syndrome, where you're really ignored. She also mentioned in past interviews that her mother would consistently tell her, well, your older sister is I think she was the smart one, and the other one was the pretty one. And I'm like, damn, why would you say that to you? So J-Lo was the middle kid that just had you were just useless, and she decided to go find it elsewhere. So when you have your, the people raising you telling you ain't shit, for lack of a better term, you do that, So I feel bad in that sense. I'm not addressing all the terrible things that people said about her being nasty, because that's not the point right now, right? Because I hear that people don't like her also because she's just so rude. I ain't never met the woman. I'm not speaking on that. But what I do see is the way she does go through relationships, not even men, but they're full-on relationships. And it's unfortunate because, she could have found the right guy a long time ago, and it'll never be enough because she's not enough. So I feel bad about that. Then you mentioned Rihanna. Now, I do not, and this isn't coming, I'm not coming at you. I do not like when we go through a list of all the men that women have slept with, celebrity men, especially because I don't even think she hits 2 hands.
You think she hit 2 hands?
I don't think so. And then also we can't confirm which one she's actually slept with.
That's true.
So that because people, not just guys, women do it too. Actually, I feel like women be the first ones to do it. Like, oh, she's hanging out with him, they definitely smashing. Damn, I can't just have a male friend.
It's just that Rihanna and Lori Harvey, like when Rihanna was doing it, it's like every month or two she had a different dude.
Who? Who?
After Chris
Who
Brown,
that we know for sure? Okay, it was Chris Brown, yes.
Okay, Drake.
Do we know they were in a? Did she ever say we are together?
Not really, but it implies it though.
People imply things. The homeless man down the street can imply that I winked at him, and that is not what I did. Instead, I tried to run away from him. So there's that. So as far as confirmed relationships, we have Chris Brown next. That billionaire man confirmed, and then there may have been one more. I'll be generous, and then there was A$AP.
Okay.
And I think A$AP was the next one right after the billionaire, actually.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So of course, we can imply a lot of things, but she's in an industry that's male dominated. Yeah, she was around a lot of men, and a lot of them wanted to, and if not wanted to sleep with her, wanted to seem like they were sleeping with her. Hell, I would wanted to seem like I was sleeping with Rihanna. You know how much clout that gets me?
Yeah, definitely. But look at Drake and Ice Spice, for example.
Okay.
I don't think Ice Spice let Drake hit it, and this is why he unfollowed her.
Okay. Why do you? Okay, continue. I'll let you finish before.
But Drake was basically in love with Rihanna.
Yes.
You're not gonna be in love
We
with a
knew
girl.
that.
You're not gonna be in love with a girl that you never hit.
That is so untrue. That is so untrue. Speaking as a woman,
that's some real simple stuff right there.
Speaking as a woman, and that's a lot of reason why y'all feel like y'all have power over us, because I like you. And it's like, yes, but I don't like you back. So why you, that's nice that you like me, but nah, but I'm in love with, okay, that don't mean I gotta give you booty. That don't mean I gotta give you a date. None of that. So yes, he did. Yes, we all can agree that Drake was like, wow, Rihanna. But we all kind of were, right? I wasn't sleeping with her. Like, and you know, so, you know, that's how, so as far as confirmed relationships, there's been 3.
All right.
Lori Harvey, as far as confirmed relationships, there's literally been 1. Confirmed.
Like who you join?
Yeah.
Why did he?
They never confirmed that.
Bullshit.
His son, they never
Future.
confirmed it. Future, they never confirmed it. She never said, I'm dating this man. So I just feel like, now, could she have? Totally. But I feel like we don't give people, especially women, the benefit of the doubt when I think I should have a right to say, I have slept with this person, or I'm dating this person, before you just put them on my list.
Okay.
That's wild business. Damn. But I have male friends. Do you know? It's so crazy that sometimes I'm with my male friends and I'm wondering, like, do people think we're together? Just because that's how people think.
Yeah.
And it's not that I would be ashamed to be. It's just like, it's just untrue though.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because a lot of people feel that you can't have platonic relationships with the opposite sex. You absolutely can. So maybe she was, or you can just hang. Rihanna's a smoker too. She might have been rolling blunts with these men.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, like, because you probably know more than me about the situation. You know,
I mean, I know, I really don't. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So we know like, about the same amount.
But like, if you're a fan of hers, you follow her history and stuff like that. I don't follow her history. I just see what I see in the media every now and again over the years, and I just came to my conclusion.
Right. So I wouldn't say I'm a Rihanna fan, but I'm not a fan. Like, let me put it this way: people are, oh my God, like, I'm a Rihanna stan, and like, I'm part of the Navy. I'm not a part of the Navy, but I have bought every single album that she's put out. Yeah. But I'm also not dying for her to put out another one. Like, her real fans are like, "Where's the album?" And I'm just like,
she said she retired.
Clearly, she has. So I'm like, when she get? And then I didn't try the Fenty brand because I thought because it was her. I tried it because I started hearing really good reviews, and I just happened to like a few of her products. So I think I'm just kind of like neutral. I think she's a gorgeous girl. I'll give her that too. I'm not no hater. But she's just not like I am not a fan of Rihanna, but I like what she puts out, and when I don't, I don't. Yeah.
So let's get into Diddy.
Okay.
Since he's talking about 2 of the people that he's supposedly been with.
Okay.
At least we know one's confirmed, Jennifer Lopez.
Yes, we do know that.
Right,
we have old footage of that.
So we seen the video of him, what he did to Cassie, which he was totally wrong for.
For sure.
You know, he should actually get his ass whipped for that. You know, but put his hands on that girl, that skinny little girl. Not little woman. Skinny woman.
Wait, if she was bigger, would it be okay?
Skinny woman. I'm saying, like,
I'm messing with you. Yeah.
So who else did he do this? Like, I seen a post earlier on my news break app, and it says Diddy gave Kim Porter a black eye. Where this information came from? Like, Kim Porter been dead for about 3-4 years now. She's been unalive for about 3-4 years now. She's not here to speak for herself. So where this information coming from? Because when she was alive, this information wasn't out.
For sure.
And I'm not saying Diddy's innocent. You fall from that. I think he's way far from that. But I feel people that accusing him should have been came out. Like, for example, if I use those 3 girls as an example, 2 of them he messed with, and 1 of them he didn't. But Rihanna, what happened with Rihanna and Chris Brown? Immediately we knew about it. It was in the media. Immediately she went to the hospital. Like,
he didn't have that power.
It was no week. It was not a week. It was not a month. It was not.
It was the night of.
Yes.
They didn't even get home yet.
Yes. And we knew about what happened. You got people that's accusing Diddy that kept the clothes that they supposedly raped, all worked them in, and kept it for 2 years. And now you're ready to go to police with it. Like, why you didn't go 2 years ago? You know, and this is my problem with the people that accusing him, people that accuse Bill Cosby, people that accuse Robbie Heinstein. Yes, these people are monsters for what they did. In Bill Cosby, I don't know if he did it or not, because that was years ago. But Harvey Weinstein did what he did. Bill Diddy did what he did. But y'all was all good with it when y'all was getting that money. Right. Y'all was all good when y'all was getting those awards. Y'all was all good when y'all was getting these advertisements. But soon, like I think the 1 year that his Dimension Films, whatever the company, Paramount, whatever his company he owned, did bad, y'all all came out against him and said, "Me too." Yeah. And I feel that that's wrong. when it's not benefiting y'all, y'all want to expose to people that abuse y'all in some kind of way, and I think that's wrong.
Okay.
I think people should come forward immediately. You know?
Yeah, I in theory, I agree, but in the actual practice, you have to acknowledge the power construct, and that means a lot of people, like these rich, powerful men, are the reason why a lot of people's families can eat. And you could say, oh, well, you know, it's not all money is good money. Totally. But you don't care about what kind of money it is when that's how you're paying your rent, when that's how your family is eating, or that's how you're paying your bills, or whatever it is, the IRS, you know, because he don't play. So that being said, you recognize the power construct. Now, I also do feel that when things happen, people come out of the woodworks. Some of it's true, some of it isn't.
Yeah.
That drives me insane, but that's just people, right? You have to be able to sift through it. But what I will say is, if you don't do certain things, there's nothing to come out of the woodworks with. Not saying that you weren't you don't feel that way, but you know, just for the sake, I just want to make it clear: there's no woodworks if you're not doing these things. But yes, it is. There are enablers who are just like, yo, to the day he dies, I got his back for sure. And those people need to be smacked, right? And there are people that are just like, I'm afraid of him. I don't know what he could do, because these men are very powerful. And especially, like, think about it, like in your career, if you were working with somebody that's just like, yo, I support this podcast, I can do all these things, and you're like, yo, he's doing some foul stuff, he can make it so that way you never, he can make it so that way YouTube won't even let you upload your stuff. Like, how's that gonna make you feel?
That's definitely true.
So that being said, I agree with you. You should be calling it out then, but in the moment, it's kind of like saying, yo, if somebody's beating somebody up in the street, what you gonna do? And I always say, I genuinely don't know, because that fight or flight that we all have, I could say I would do something, but that I could be a deer caught in headlights. I saw it happen, I couldn't move, I was frozen in fear. And yeah, it really does suck for the victims, because you're looking around like, does nobody see him beating me, or whatever it is, or do you not care? And the reality is, I think that's why, and that's even why she probably went back. Like, definitely. This is how I eat. I don't have anything outside of this. I'm embarrassed to talk about it. There's a lot of people who were involved that not victims, but were involved, that are embarrassed by it. Like, what would my mother think if she knew that I was enabling this type of behavior?
Definitely.
So I think they function off shame and fear, and just, you know, the general power construct that is, what are you going to do to me? Like, these people can put you, can have you in court and litigation so long that you can't pay lawyers, and then you came out with nothing. So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you did, and I totally agree with everything you said. Like, for example, one thing you said, was like, don't do the nonsense. Joe Budden was talking about the Diddy situation on his podcast, and he was like, he had a conversation with Diddy, and Diddy is like, yo,
recently?
No, on podcast recently, yeah, probably a week or two ago on his podcast, and he was like, he had a talk with Diddy, and Diddy was telling him not to put your hands on people. So he's like, I figured he had common sense not to put his hands on nobody, because he was telling me not to put my hands on nobody. You know, then 6-7 years later, this video comes out.
I mean, well, there's preachers that tell you not to do stuff all the time when they're doing stuff behind the pulpit. So you got to keep up your image, I guess. I think sometimes it's like, okay, good, they're wounded. Let me do something now, because that's the best time to come at a power construct, when it's already the foundation is weak.
Take one person.
It takes one person. You just got to be that person. Then after that, it's like, oh my God, I feel safe now. They can't possibly ruin my life now. They're already in trouble. So I think that's what it is too. Like, yes, if in a perfect world, I don't like what you did, I'm reporting you. But the world is real gray. And like, it's like, you see, like, it's like every other day, celebrities getting outed. The Dream just got outed. And Beyonce is part of the lawsuit. Beyonce suing him too. Oh Lord.
Like what you do to Beyonce, Dream? It's crazy. Like, and like, it's like, it seems like it's added. You got Drake now. You got Drake being put out there. Oh, you got Diddy, Jay-Z's in hiding, like, you know.
Not in hiding. Maybe he's just doing rich people stuff somewhere else.
He's laying low to the Diddy.
He's been out with his wife. They've literally been in pictures together.
But he not doing no interviews.
Jay-Z don't usually interview.
Yes, but like, he's more outspoken. Like, he will do an interview or be outspoken.
Last time I heard him talk, Wait, he just, I don't know
He
what
was
came
on, he was
before.
Robert Robertson, and she asked him. No,
Yes.
it was Gayle King.
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna
Yeah.
say Good Morning America,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it was Gayle King.
yeah, Gayle King. You're
It was
right.
Gayle
He was
King,
talking
and
about Blue.
and
After the concert, yeah.
he's talking about how should they take the money? She asked the question like, should he take the money or have dinner with Jay-Z?
But he said,
Yeah,
take the money.
Yeah, take the money. Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and then I will say Jay-Z has never been like this huge advocate. Like he was talking, like I remember when Black Lives Matter was at its height around 2018. I think it was 2018, with Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
And you know, everybody was
the football, the kneeling, yeah.
Yeah, the kneeling and not blackballing, what's the word? Boycotting the NFL.
Yeah.
He was vocal then when he, you know, acquired or something he did with the NFL.
Yeah,
I think he acquired
the license to put on shows. So
right.
This is why it's always like Rihanna or somebody doing the show.
Exactly. So he was talking then, but honestly, he takes a lot out of his wife's. I mean, maybe Beyonce took some out of his book because they don't talk to us. Yeah. Like, you know, so they be somewhere doing billionaire people stuff that's none of our business. So, but yeah, no, and I will say, involved or not, he should be laying low because let me put it this way. Let's just say, as an example, he's doing all this and he's completely innocent. But me coming out and being all up in your face, now it's like me, I'm like, oh, I was hanging out with Jay-Z that one time in 1999.
Exactly.
Oh, I could say that's what happened. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like, nah, I'm backing up because I am innocent. And you ain't gonna put me in nothing. Because then also the one thing I will say, something you cannot fix is your reputation. Exactly. If you accuse someone of something and it's not true, people are always gonna have that doubt in their head. And it's not fair. You could literally prove it with DNA. And they'll still be like, it was something about him though. Like, what about him? He's innocent. So
Hey, yo, B, why would you put out a song like this? Why you dry snitching on us? You telling them that we off the... So if our empire come crashing down, it's all on you.
No, if it all comes crashing down, it'll be your fault. I told you he was too flamboyant, too messy, but you couldn't help yourself. Just like with R. Kelly, you gotta keep doing business with people who are just like you. Sick.
Wait, what you say? Hold up, let me tighten you up real quick. You wildin'. Hey, Dad, look, I'm just like Mommy now. Oh, hey, Blue. I'm conjuring at an 8th grade level now. Okay. Hey, listen to me. Don't make me do you like I did. Yeah, you hear me? Yeah, Blue, it's good. Me and Mommy just talking right now. Oh, all right. I'm gonna come check you.
Sorry, I'll summon you later.
Now listen, you gonna get out in front of this. You better call your publicist and tell him you was Sasha Fierce when you wrote this. You wasn't yourself.
It's for you.
What you mean it's for me? What you talking about? Oh, shit. How he get this number?
I don't know that man. But you know, for the sake of this, I just feel like he's like, nah, it ain't my business. That's you, brother.
Yeah, he's laying low.
Good luck. Maybe Beyonce sent him some flowers on the low. I don't know.
Other than that, Diddy's wrong. He shouldn't have did that. It's shores of the other victims, but I want to know: did he abuse J-Lo? Did he abuse J-Lo? Did he abuse Lori Harvey? Did he, like they say he abused Kim Porter? No, we gonna like.
But she can't speak on that.
No, he can't. She can't speak on that. We don't know if it's in
and knowing how J-Lo functions, she ain't saying a word either.
Yeah, she's not saying nothing.
So they're just gonna have to go off Cassie, which, like you said, it takes the one, and she was the one. And who would have thought that the one girl that had only a couple hits because of him, really, seemingly, because she had the whole package. I mean, she wasn't a singer, but most of them aren't.
Yeah.
But she had the look, she had the body,
entertainment.
She you know, she had the exotic thing that America loves. So I'm like, she could have definitely done better. Yeah. But I think that definitely like affected her career negatively. But it took her. To start this, and I commend her. And it does suck that there will be people piling on that maybe weren't involved in any way. But I mean, that's what you set yourself up for.
The person I mentioned, the girl close to 2 years, I don't know who the hell she is. I just seen an article. I just seen an article and I read the article about her and all that. Yeah. And then the other dude is a guy that's saying that Meek Mill was there.
Not a big man.
Cuba Gooding Jr. was there. He didn't say Meek Mill. He said famous Philadelphia rapper. So
It can't be Will Smith.
Everybody assumed it was Meek Mill.
Yeah, I doubt it was Cassidy.
Then Meek Mill went on I think Breakfast Club or something like that. He's like,
Yeah.
I like the P word. I like P. This and that. I'm not deep in that. So it made him look worse.
Oh, my boy Meek. So I don't know if I told you this. I'm from Philly. Yeah, so Meek is cool people. I never met him, but he seems cool. But sometimes I'd be like, shh, just don't say nothing. It's okay. It's okay. We love you. It's I feel like he just been running amok ever since he got out of jail and just talking and doing weird stuff. And I'm just like, you like recently they showed him, what was he, ashy with an afro in the pool or something like that. I was like, see, you making us look bad. Like,
he went to where Dubai or something like that and shot a music video. But yeah, like
I think it was Africa. I think it was Ghana or Kenya or something like that. Yeah, it was definitely in Africa. Yeah, like they said he was disrespecting. I think
the palace or something like that.
Yeah, he just. Yeah, my boy Meek.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
If we being honest, the probability of Meek Mill walking away from these allegations is astronomical. Like, they done included my boy in the Frico charges with the take that man, the same man that be calling grown man daddy.
I like when you like this, daddy.
The same man that offered to take grown men on shopping sprees.
It's like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like, I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this just say?
And then you get caught in 4K wearing matching fits.
There's no way out of this one.
Come on, Freak Millie. I think I got a better chance at getting superpowers than you do at beating these allegations at this point. You could have just thrown the matching footy pajamas and went your way. Nobody would have bothered you. But it's like you trying to make like exclusive, deluxe, super complex, sophisticated arguments to explain why you inducted into the Frico charges, bro. You tried to say it was AI ChatGPT that made up a fake lawsuit, then why is it going to court? Why is it going to court, Freak Millie? Answer the question. You think the robot got a lawyer? Bro, it's you, Freak Millie, it's you.
You be going to the billionaire parties and stuff like that.
He don't mean no harm. He's just a regular North Philly guy living his life, you know. That's all I'm gonna say on me. Yeah, what's up?
I was gonna say, you want to talk about Trump? It's easy. You want to win the election again?
We can do that. It's gonna stress me out what we can. Uncomfortable truths, right?
Would you vote for Trump?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Let me get me.
Yeah.
No. Would you vote for Trump?
Maybe.
Okay. Can I hear why?
When Trump was in office, people tell me it wasn't because of Trump was in office.
It was not. Whatever you're gonna say,
it was because of myself.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of money. That's why I started the company. I had a lot of money.
Do you understand that wasn't his? If anything, he's the reason why it took so long for you to get it. Because he said, no, these people are dying and can't afford food, but I need to sign it. That's what he did. So he held it up, but that was money that wasn't approved by him. Like that's so.
I'm not talking about stimulus checks and all that. I'm talking about like working wise. Like, like the most I ever got paid at a job.
But you know that was you though, right?
Yeah, like, people tell me. It wasn't because he wasn't.
Yeah, like I made out okay because I had a full time and then we went virtual, so that was fine. But the reality is, I just remember that a lot of people were struggling or still trying to make up for that. People lost businesses. Like I joke around and say that all the fast food I ate, because I would just go into the city and order food or whatever it was, contactless or whatever. I joke and say that I kept all these businesses open because I didn't cook a meal that whole time. But the reality is there was nothing that could help. They shut up nail salons, hair salons. Some people couldn't get medical attention for important things because because it was like, oh well, it's not as important and we can't risk getting COVID. So that being said, and we're lucky because it did work out for us. But it wouldn't have been the catastrophe that it was if most people made out like us. It would have been like, oh, it was a time to be quiet and be in the house. But no, it's like, oh my God, a lot of people's lives are still ruined by that. So anyway, continue. No. So you said maybe. So what's your other reason as to why the answer is maybe?
I don't like Biden.
Okay.
I don't like Biden.
But you like Trump.
I like Trump ethic. I like the ethic of Trump. Like for example,
the grab him by the P word?
No. Like he talk about how people should run businesses. stuff like
You
that.
know, he's filed bankruptcy.
No,
more.
yes, but he also.
Why would you take business advice
like,
from him? A
because-
rich white man that can file bankruptcy and bounce back like
but
it's nothing.
he's still a billionaire though. So he
But that wasn't his money.
Yeah.
That was from, he had old money.
Yeah.
We cannot compare ourselves to old money.
I understand he got a loan for forward.
You can't tell me how to run a business if you have no reason, if you have nothing to lose in it.
No, you're right about all that. You're right about all that. Just that Trump actually teaches people how to keep money, especially like doing tax time.
You do know that Trump wouldn't like you, right?
Why you say that?
You're black.
You're
black.
You ain't know black people. You know
The one, I don't know. Can I say? Okay, he hangs out with. Can I say that? Okay, he hangs out with coons. You know, like
Kanye.
we can talk about him another day. That deserves a whole segment on its own. R.I.P. Kanye, because I miss.
It's Ye now. It's Ye now.
Yeah, exactly. R.I.P. I miss his little his little stripe
polo shirts.
Yeah, polo shirts and his little backpack. He was a great guy, but yeah, no, he wouldn't like you. And then you're black.
Putting everything in your name, create a business, an LLC, put everything in your LLC, and open up a C corp. And if you don't know these, you need to figure these out. I'm telling you the names. Get a C corp to run an LLC. If you want to make it even deeper, go get a trust fund and run a corp that runs the LLC. You want to get even deeper, own 2 trust funds for your business and your person to run that trust that runs all the business. It can get deep, my guy. Like,
absolutely.
And Donald Trump actually showed me that method. That's how he didn't pay tax.
As far as he's concerned, you're low income. Yeah, you're just all the things that if you were on fire, he wouldn't give you water.
So you don't think he would teach me how to become a billionaire?
No.
You don't think he taught Kanye?
He didn't become a billionaire because he didn't become one. He kind of was one, based off that name. So he can't teach you. He can teach you how to be born again with somebody else that's a billionaire already. That's the best he can do. In your next life, I believe you should just find the right family. That's what he would say.
Yeah. But the biggest thing I took from Trump is the tax situation, like starting an LLC, adding an LLC to S corp, or C corp.
You don't think you could have gotten that information from anybody else? Because the information was there before.
Yes, but the first time I ever heard it, it came from Waka Flocka mouth, and he got it from Trump.
Okay.
And then before Waka Flocka, it was Kanye messing around with Trump, and then he became a billionaire with Adidas.
So do you think maybe it's the people that you were listening to?
Yeah. No, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So we can't. I hear you. Obviously, you can vote for whoever you want to, but this is also the same man that emboldened the racist people. Like racist people have been around, but he was referencing the good old days where you could do some of the heinous crimes to us that are now illegal, even though they still kind of do them. So I feel like just morally, I can't vote for someone that would lynch me if given the chance.
Yeah, definitely. He want to be a dictator.
Yeah, and be a dictator. He wants to take away women's rights. Actually, I do think he said pro-choice.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he has a tendency to switch up too.
Yeah, definitely.
So he will say that to get all the blue people and then become president and be like, I believe, because he will switch up in a minute.
Yeah, but I don't think the presidency is a good election anyway. I think we should all worry about our state elections first.
For sure.
So your mayor, your governor, your city council.
Absolutely.
Your assemblyman, your borough president, stuff like that. Because presidency, like you said, that's far removed from us. They don't really do nothing for us. Then they say the president's a puppet anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Puppet, so he's doing whatever.
They can only do so much. I mean, Trump did whatever he wanted, but realistically, they can only do so much. And also, especially when we live in a country I've traveled, and other people in other countries find it so weird that we are one country. We have 50 states, and every single state functions differently with different laws. And then the cities inside those states also have different laws. And they're just so is it all one country? And I'm like, that's a great question.
Then you got federal laws.
So you have all these different things. So that being said,
Then they add violations as laws too, even though there's a violation. So it's not a law, it's not a crime, but they make it seem like it's a law.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why you can't travel from state to state with weed.
Yeah.
because it's not legal federally, but your state says okay. New York, New Jersey, they're okay.
Yeah.
But the minute you try to carry it between states, I believe even if those two states you're crossing between is legal, you just committed a federal crime.
Definitely. Weed is legal in Oklahoma. Weed is legal in New York.
Recreational?
Oh. So you could, it's mad smoke shops out there. I mean, dispensaries out there.
Oh.
But you gotta have a light. You gotta have a card. But you could get on the plane and you could travel to Oklahoma in the plane. But now Texas is illegal. Now you get on a plane with weed and you get in Texas and they find it in your bag. Yeah, you're going to jail.
And that's crazy because and here's the thing: the way our country functions, I'm not saying that the solution is to make all of our laws the same because I like New York's laws. I'm from Philadelphia, so Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania has always been a swing state. So it could be red one election, it could be blue another.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily want Pennsylvania's laws, maybe based off the era. But you know, I like California's laws. Like I feel like some of the states are California, New York. So I feel like those are two safe spaces. But the reality is, you know, if they were to pick a state that we all mimic, it wouldn't be one of those.
Yeah.
It would be Texas.
Yeah.
Like it'd be some place where there's open carry, no women's rights. And I'm just like, so that scares me too. So at least when it's different states, I have the right to be like, I'm not moving here. I'm not moving. I don't care how big the $10 mansion in Texas is. I'm gonna stay in my expensive apartment in New York because it's safe here.
My cousin live in Wisconsin and they do KKK marches still.
Yeah.
They still do KKK marches, and he's telling me, he's like, yeah, the chief of police, he's part of the KKK. Like I've seen him watching with them down the street, with their flags and everything. And
living in a state like that that's scary.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to move. But I'd be trying to find any way to,
And the only reason they don't bother him is because the way he carry himself. And he said everybody in Wisconsin got dreadlocks. So he's like, they treat them all differently. They don't want to do nothing. They break up people's houses. They steal cars.
Anybody with dreadlocks is a criminal.
No. But they say all black people. Most black people, like, you know, it's rare you see somebody with a haircut in Wisconsin. So like. They stereotype them.
Right.
He don't have dreadlocks. So I think they don't stereotype him like that. But there's one situation where he went to a bar and he was talking to a Caucasian woman and the guy didn't like that. He punched him in the face. You know,
the police chief.
No. My cousin was in the room.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I thought we were still talking about the chief.
No.
Okay, all right, your cousin. That makes so much more sense. I was like, how does the white man have dreads?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, my cousin, like, he don't have dreadlocks. He got regular haircut.
Okay.
But most of the people out there, they got dreadlocks, so they stereotype them out there. But like he went to a bar once, and he was talking to a Caucasian woman, and when the Caucasian dudes didn't like that, and he punched him in the face. So now he's trying to get to the guy. They stopped him. They held him down, like yo. They kicked the guy at the bar. He said, "Look," he said, "if you attack that man, you're going to jail." He said,
"Or you're going to die on the spot."
He said, "But him, they gonna let him go." He said, "This is why we holding you back. We're not holding you back not to get to him. We holding you back because we want you to go to jail." He like, just chill out. You know, like, the dude left. My cousin chill out in the bar for the night. And but like I said, you got the race, you got KKK out there, you got people like that out there. But the bar in general, they was like, nah, man, don't
do it. It's not worth it.
His safety was more important to them than him being violent to God getting revenge back. So everybody not bad people.
That's infuriating. Yeah, and this is the type of behavior that Trump is like, I mean, whatever. He's not worried about it, and I think that's what bothers me. Now, I want to be clear. Do I think Biden has been the best president? No. Do I think he's been better than a whole lot of the ones we've had in our history?
Yes.
Yes. Do I think that he's supporting a genocide to an extent? But also, let's be very clear. We have for years and years and years been allies with Israel and giving them money. So nothing's changed like that. Yeah, I don't agree with what's going on in Palestine, but I understand in terms of not understand as in I'm justifying it, but I understand in terms of the reason why they're not pulling back is because the way that would politically just like crumble the whole house of cards, they don't see it as worth it. Now, of course, we have a right to protest, do whatever you got to do. But they're not going to stop. This is an allyship that we've had for, I don't know how many years, you could look it up, but for a very long time. So yeah, he supported, and the only reason he's supporting the genocide is because he just happens to be president right now while this is happening. This is going to happen regardless. So there's that. He's a little old, sure, but Trump ain't exactly young.
Yeah.
I think Trump is in his 70s too.
But do you feel Biden is doing the same thing Trump was doing with Russia?
Oh, I'm not educated on that.
No, I'm saying like, Trump was always defending Putin. He's always going risen Putin.
Well, he might be. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not well versed on our Russia situation, but or the previous Russia situation, but I will say this: Russia is not our ally.
Yeah.
Israel is.
Yeah.
So I understand the conflict of interest. Trump was just messing around and stuff just to do it. It's like we don't have any connection to Russia. There's literally no point. Like, but here it's just like it's so messed up, and I don't agree with it, but it's also kind of like it is what it is. And there's so many things that have been going on that our country doesn't care about, and I just find it very interesting. I guess it's because we're funding it. I just find it so interesting. There's so many things that are similar going on in the world, and we're only protesting about Palestine.
Yeah.
I'm pro stop hurting innocent people.
Yeah, exactly.
Period. Because there's people in Israel who are innocent. If I'm sitting in Israel, I'm like, I don't got nothing to do with this. Y'all, they over here trying to get us, and this has been a historical conflict.
Yeah.
It didn't just start with Biden.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's getting a bad rep for this.
Oh, no, definitely.
And it's really annoying, and I feel like it's at a bad time because I feel like we're being very short-sighted in terms of, yes, this is wrong, but what's going to happen to us? Because we can't take care of anybody unless we take care of ourselves, right? That's why they tell you on an airplane, you put the mask on yourself first, and then you help other people. So I feel like Americans, we have this tendency to not take care of ourselves and get our stuff together, but we want to reach our hands in every other country's jar and be like, well, let's fix this, let's fix that, let's protest that. And I get it, like that's a great thing, but we got to focus on what's at hand. And what's at hand is women losing their rights to free healthcare or reproductive healthcare specifically. We're
rent too high.
Yeah, rent's too high. People who are from their states have been there for generations, can't afford to live there anymore. So where do they go? Like Hawaii's a mess. New York is a mess. At least in New York, there's different ways to hustle. Ain't no ways to hustle in Hawaii.
Definitely not.
Like,
definitely not. You got a boat or something like that. And that's hard to get.
Atlanta, I hear people in Atlanta are like, yo, stop moving here. And the people moving to Philly now. And I'm just like, now they're pricing out Philly. And I'm like, Philly's been here. Why y'all want to come here all of a sudden? There's New Yorkers. So,
they figure it's cheaper and they got a car.
And all the people in Philly who have been chilling. Now, Philly has never been dirt cheap compared to New York, but there is a difference, at least rent-wise. And we don't have the tall buildings where they put everybody together in one, our projects look very different in Philly. So that being said, it's just like now they're just trying to, you have landlords from New York moving to Philly and taking advantage of the fact that there's no law against how high your rent could be raised without notice. That's foul. So we got stuff to worry about here. We over here, I'm not saying you can't take on multiple causes at once, but we got to figure out our own backyard. We really do. And we haven't had it together, I don't think really ever, but there's been a time we've had a little bit more together, I feel. And it shouldn't take something like 9/11 to make us all recognize that we're one. But I can't even use that example because right after that, people were going to harass people who looked like people who are Muslim, anybody wearing a hijab or anything like that. So I'm like, were we together? Because they were American and they were beating them in the streets. We get COVID. Then they're beating up Chinese people or anybody that looks Asian, which is a large group of people, right? So I'm like, first of all, they're not even Chinese or Korean. Not that makes it okay, but because you at least get you gonna beat up a group, let it be the right group.
Definitely.
So it's a lot. So obviously everybody vote for who you want to vote for. But you got to vote in your own best interest. And our best interest, if you are a minority that is not a billionaire, because even having $1 million right now doesn't go as far. If you are a person who is unaffected by politics because you just have so much money, then it doesn't matter what you choose. But we have to pick what we choose. And 4 years is a long time to mess some stuff up. In the 4 years he was president, we saw COVID. And if it wasn't for him saying it's not a thing, we wouldn't have died the way that we did. That's my rant for the day.
I totally agree with you, and like everything you said.
Oh, going back to social media. Do you feel like we are more body positive now as opposed to past generations?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think people. Look at Rick Ross. Rick Ross take his shirt off in a heartbeat to show those double D's. Wait,
he lost weight. I thought it was more like A's now.
I'm just joking.
Oh, okay.
I'm just joking.
I was like, wait, did he gain it back?
Yeah, I'm just joking. Like people like that, Like, yes, people don't mind their body. Even a person could be a 2 and they feel like they 100%. Like, you know, they 100. And like, you can't tell somebody they ugly nowadays. You can't tell somebody they fat. You can't tell somebody they overweight. Because to them, esteem is so high, you can't tell them nothing like that.
Okay. Question, just to challenge that a little bit. Do you feel like social media allows us to make it seem like we're more secure in these spaces?
Yes.
And sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'll use Lizzo as an example. Lizzo will go around all over social media and say how comfortable she is and confident she is in herself. But I've seen confident women and they don't have to tell you every day that they're confident. So I think that that's a little bit of her showing her cards unintentionally. But I think social media, so that's why I asked, I feel social media allows you to be like, I'm great, I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, no, you do still feel like the fat girl.
Yes, I totally agree. I was on you, Ada Ross, for example. Ada Ross, he's a social media influencer like Ka.
Okay.
I think him and Casanet are real good friends. Okay. I found out who he was because during COVID, his sister doing OnlyFans with a black dude. And
was this guy white or something?
Yeah, he's right. His sister white.
Okay.
You know, she's messing with a black dude doing OnlyFans, and he was getting clowned for it. And this is how I even knew he existed. But lately, not lately, probably last year, he kept bringing on a transgender guy, transgender woman. But you could tell it's a guy.
They wake up, they're about their bag. You wake up and don't care what anyone thinks about you? That's someone who's not operating within society. If you twerked, what would shake first? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, I want to find out. I want to find out, please. Nico, she's saying her payment is $2,500. Do you want to just split it with me?
Wait, he said his payment's $2,500?
You want her? Do you want to split it with me?
Wait, you're a girl?
Bro, chill, bro. Yeah, she is, bro. Okay, this is my girl. Shut up. Do you want to just split with me? Not yet. Do you want to split with me or not?
Well, if it's your girl, then shouldn't you provide for him?
Oh my God, bro. Hey, her.
And he's just doing it. It seems like he's just doing it for views. And this person big now. This person been on Whatever. He been on Ada Ross. Sneeko wasn't having it. Like I can show you a video of Sneeko, and he kept calling the person a man and stuff like that. And Aiden's like, yo, chill, Sneeko. But you knew this man was going to do that. You knew why you would bring him on here to disrespect this person, and mutilate this person on camera. But the person get views. He go on Matching shows, and he made that person very famous because he's very famous. And like I think people in general not ashamed of their body no more. And if they are ashamed of their body, they in a different category as like an incel or a simp or a beta male or something like that.
Yeah. Do you not feel that getting your body done maybe touches on an insecurity?
Yes, I think it is, because if a female or a man get work done, you must have like something about yourself.
Right.
So you don't like your face. So that's why you get your nose done, your cheeks done. And who I was looking at the other day and I was like, look scary. Oh, Justina Valentine.
She does look different now.
I was watching her do the Jersey Shore reunion.
She hosted it?
Yeah, she hosted it. And I'm looking at her face. I'm like, yo, this girl looks scary. Like, I should be attracted to this girl. And my mother, my brother dying laughing. He
said, where'd she go?
I'm like, yo, look at her face. Oh my goodness. And then they started talking about the other people, other cast members, and like and what's her name? Angelica, whatever her name is. They like, yeah, she got a lot of work done. So on Snooki, Jay Wiley, like they got work done. And we was just talking about that after that. But I think people in general don't have a problem with body shaming now.
Okay.
You know? And I think a lot of women that say they thick or fat.
You have to throw that in there.
Yes,
huh?
yes.
So I don't agree or disagree. And I will say why. Because thick is subjective. So I have people tell me I'm thick. Now, there's certain times where I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no body whatsoever.
Bullshit.
Right? And then there's other times like when I'm heavier, I'm just like, no, I think I'm fat. Like, I don't think this is thick. Everybody's idea of what thick is different. So I would say Meg Thee Stallion is thick. That girl ain't skinny. She's also not fat. That is a thick 5. I always say that she's like 6'5". I know she's not that tall, but I'm like, that is a thick 6'5" height woman. If she was skinny, it'd look weird, right?
She look nice in person. I see her in person.
Oh, okay,
She
okay.
look nice.
But she's definitely not a railing, right?
Yeah.
Like she got some body on
Yeah,
her.
she. Nah.
But I think I don't want to call anybody fat, but there's people that I'm like that they qualify to me as fat. And fat isn't necessarily a bad thing.
It's
like
not
if it's your type, it's your type. I don't personally want to be fat. I've always had insecurities that I was. I have a little bit of self-diagnosed body dysmorphia. So I feel like sometimes that I'm 500 pounds. I know that I'm not. But, that being said, I think that thick is subjective. Some of them are fat.
Yes, they are.
Some girls call themselves thick. And I'm like, aren't you a size 2? And I would never say that a size 2 is thick.
No.
I dabble between a 4 and a 6. I don't think that's thick either. Also, it depends on where your fat is placed, right?
Yes.
My fat is not placed on my ass. It's not on my hips. It's around places. It's just not there. Right? So
I was just about to say that, like, if a girl's stomach not flat, she's fat.
See, and that's not fair. See, this is the problem. No, do you know? Is that a joke or are you serious? Because now I'm gonna have. Okay, all right. Now I'm like, now we got a whole nother segment, and we were about ready to wrap up. Okay, all right, cool. Dang. So yeah. Anyway, I do feel like it's hard, right? I feel like we are a little bit more body positive right now, but I think it's just kind of morphed into something else. Like instead of. And I don't even know that this is body positive. But I think more so what we're doing now is saying you can't say these things.
Yeah.
But I think people have the same feelings. This person is too skinny. Like Coily Ray, they won't leave her alone talking about some, where's your body? And she's like, so I can't be too thick. Like she's like, if I was bigger, y'all would have a problem. And she's like, I'm built like this and I'm fine with my body, but y'all think I look like a little boy. Which I'm like, so she's getting skinny shamed. Lizzo gets fat shamed. Meg Thee Stallion sometimes gets height shamed.
Yeah.
It's just it's a lot.
Yeah, you could fix your weight, you can't fix your height, and a
That's
lot of
very
people
true.
always go to height, either it's a man or woman, like you said, Meg Thee Stallion, because she's a tall woman, she always get ridiculed for that. Men ridiculed for that. I heard a woman say the other day, if a guy say he's 6 feet, he really 5 or 10, something like that. Like, oh, that was the interview I was doing. I heard somebody say that. Yeah. Like, so yeah.
Yeah. Also that does crack me up when women say I need a guy that's this height.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here's the thing. I'm 5'2". So really anything 5'5" and up is tall for me. So I'm like, and I know that's considered short for others. Like my ex was like 5'11", and people consider that short. Some guys consider that short, and I'm just like, well, he got a lot of inches on me, and when I put on heels, he's still taller. So fine. But then I don't know. I guess everybody wants that tall. I play basketball for the NBA height, and I'm just like, that's weird because I also looked at the similarity or the difference rather between Shawnee and Shaq.
Yeah.
And that's scary, and it's not for me.
I
don't know how she did it. The idea makes me uncomfortable, like genuinely uncomfortable. So yeah, and I think she's like 5 feet. She's between 5 feet and 5'2", and I'm just like, was he like 8'10"?
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating, but he might as well be.
For me, for example, I'm about 5'10", and people tell me I'm short and stuff like that. And I had tricked women with my height. I got the stuff in my shoes.
I was gonna say, how do you do that? Like walking stilts? Okay.
And it's a sole. It's a sole, and it got a big heel.
Get out of here.
And you put it in. So
this is like male makeup.
So when you put it in, your feet don't go all the way inside, but your heel stays up. So you like this. Yeah. But you
all right. So you invite her to your house and you walk around in slippers. Now she's gonna be like, where'd you go?
No, that's what happened.
Oh my God.
What happened? I was at a bar. I met a girl. I was taller than her. Like I was like 6'2", something like that. I think I had 2 of them on. And I had Tim's on or something like that. So my feet could go all the way in.
Yeah.
So and like mess with her. And one day I was in the house, she was like, why you look shorter? Like, I thought you was 6 feet. I had these in my shoes. She's like, oh my God.
That was more accurately, that's like the male version of a girdle. Yes. Like, y'all want us to have this 24-inch waist, then we want y'all to have all this extra height. Just everybody's a liar. Everybody's lying. That's why we have trust issues.
I wear them all the time. They didn't hurt my feet. Like, your feet don't go way inside. If you do with them, you gotta take the sole out, but that take away like a couple,
some
couple
cushion,
like a couple centimeters.
Oh, okay, okay.
So like you lose height if you take the sole out. So you need the sole to stay in. So but it hurts. You know?
It hurts. Oh,
it hurts when you not wear them. So I don't wear them all the time. But I did wear them for a while, and I did get girls because they thought I was 6 feet.
That's crazy. I don't know. Like I don't. Whatever. Everybody's entitled to their preference, but I don't need you. You don't got to be 6'5" in order to be attractive. Whatever. It's totally. Now, if you're 6 feet tall, obviously you wouldn't want a 5'2" man. Like I totally understand that. But like I said, it'll be girls my height. Like he needs to be 6'5", and I'm like, to do what? Like that just sounds really weird.
Because if you big, he can't pick you up.
Right. That's like it's just.
Yeah, because I usually go for the petite girls so I could actually lift them.
Right.
You know, I got a saying, touch the ceiling. So that's my saying.
And if she's 7 feet tall, that ain't happening.
It's not happening.
She can pick you up though. That would be romantic.
If she weighed 250, it's not happening.
Even if she doesn't, can you imagine just being picked up by this tall, like 7 feet tall woman?
I want no woman picking me up.
I don't know. She might be really into it. She's like, I just love you.
I do like fetishes, but not that. Not that kind of fetish.
I just got into it.
Not that kind of fetish. You know, I do like fetishes, but not that kind.
No. Furries?
No. Oh, you see the furries?
I learned. I did. Yeah. Now that I learned what that is, I'm like, that's you?
Nah. I don't like furries.
It wasn't. So here's the thing. It wasn't disturbing, but it was weird. Like there's way more disturbing things out there. I just didn't get it. I was like, okay, if that's your thing, but whatever, none of my business. But that's for a whole nother day.
No. Yeah. I would say that for like a relationship talk combo or something like that. But I do got fetishes, but nothing crazy. Like
you like feet?
No, okay. I like for example, I like dancing. So I like to watch a girl dance.
Is that a fetish?
It is a fetish.
Is that really a fetish?
Yes. You know, I rather watch her dance and then before I perform. Or
I think that's what the whole strip club premise is based off of. Like, you know. I thought, okay, I could be wrong. I've never looked up the definition of fetish, but I thought fetish was something that was inherently a little bit weird.
Yeah. But that is weird if you want to sit there and you rather watching, you get turned on by watching the girl.
No, it's not. That's literally how that works.
But it's like, it's not just the dancing, it's the clothes. Like, you know, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I got a clothes fetish, you know. I feel a girl more attractive with clothes on, you know.
Okay.
So like, I'd rather have fun with her clothes on. Like, instead of like, I'd rather like take a knife, like, or take something, like rip it, you know. Stuff like that.
Oh, you like
know?
ruined.
Yeah, so like stuff like that. I like fetishes like that, you know, with the clothes still on, you know.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Let me see. I'm not telling you that one. I'll keep that one to myself.
Okay. I respect it. So the other one that you didn't speak on, I can't speak on, but the one that you just mentioned, that's the whole reason why there's peep shows, there's strip clubs, there's strip clubs where the women keep their clothes on too. Yeah. So I don't think that's a fetish. I think you're just an average guy.
But you can't do nothing to them. Like you can watch. You can go to the strip club.
But
you can watch
that you don't want to, which means that.
But you in the crib, you like like dance for me. She started dancing. You know.
Yeah, I think you think you're weirder than you are. That's totally normal. I'm telling you, as a female, I wouldn't be like this. Like I wouldn't say that. I'd be like, okay, well that's his thing. Like whatever. There's some people that like to cook because they think they're very good at it. Nothing wrong with that. Some people like to cook naked. You know, like have their parts out around all that good food. But you know, like I think again, I can't speak on the one you didn't mention, but the one you did, I don't think you're a creep.
It's only one girl. I had a girl that did something during sex at one point, and it was like the best thing ever. Like, it always stuck with me, you know. Like, so, but I don't know if I ever could be like, yo, I want you to do such a, you know. If they don't do it, I probably would never mention it. I probably would never mention it. But it's not crazy. It's nothing.
I get you, but you may not want, like some people, like something that's technically not crazy is role play, but somebody may be like, I don't want to act like that.
It's not homosexual. It's not.
It can't be homosexual if she was a woman.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but no, pagan. Like, you know, pagan is.
That's not homosexual.
What do you mean by that?
You don't think that's homosexual?
It's not homosexual. You know what makes you homosexual? Being a man sleeping with men. That makes you homosexual.
So a man putting a dildo inside him is not.
So technically, that's where a lot of your erogenous zones are. So doing things in your butt, I find like, I mean, it's your preference.
It's cringe.
I feel you. I totally get you. That being said, it's cringy for you, and that's totally your right. You have to be comfortable having sex, but I don't find that if that's what you're into, there's literally nerves back there to make that feel good. So Now, if you're saying I like you to poke me in the eye and that gets me off, I'd be like, that's weird, sir. There's no erogenous zone there. You just risking being blind, like, you know. So, you know, that's weird. But no, I don't find, like, truly, like, and I know you know this, but you know, people watching like that, I feel like it's again another thing that I feel like y'all don't have the space to try things because people automatically gonna say that's gay. The only thing that makes you gay is being a man that likes men, and that's again totally fine. But because you do things or you like things back there, that does not. If it's with a woman, it's not gay. It's not homosexual. It's none of that stuff. It's not weird. It's you. Again, weird is to me. Weird is when you like to watch porn with underage looking schoolgirls. That is weird. That borders.
Yeah, we talked about that last time.
Yes, that borders that, and you need to get that checked out. Or at least reel it in when you're around. Don't let me ever find that out. So that's that. But no, I mean, if somebody ever would have tried, if someone wants to try that, I think that they should. And then there's also, I feel like we're in an era where we talk about everything. You don't got to talk about it. What you do in your bedroom is totally up to you. And nobody can judge you if you don't know, but that should be discussed with somebody that you trust as a partner. And men and women, we should not be shaming people. When you break up with somebody, that does not give you the right to say all the things that they were into that are embarrassing.
Definitely not.
That's foul. So yeah, it's, especially if you were doing it with them. I'm like, so was you shaming him, but you were doing it? So whatever, there's that. But no, you're not weird.
I knew a woman once, and I was in a house. And she went out. She went out, and the house was dirty. The house was filthy. So I'm like, I'm gonna clean up.
Are we talking roaches filthy?
No. Like she didn't. Like she just come to the house and throw stuff down.
Disorganized.
Yeah, disorganized.
But like not dirt.
No,
like,
not dirt. No, not dirt. No dirty dishes, nothing like that. No crazy nothing like that. Just her clothes everywhere, stuff everywhere, very disorganized. So I'm like, I'm gonna clean up. So I'm cleaning up, and as I'm cleaning up, I keep finding these little flash drives. They the ones that go on the phone, little micro SD card. Keep finding them. I probably found like 13 of them. So I'm like, put this in my phone and see what's on this. Yeah. Every last one of them had naked pictures.
Of her?
Of her.
Okay.
Every last one. Every last one. Naked, lingerie, and less.
Was that a problem for
you? That's what was a problem for me. So now she come in the house, I'm like, yo, hey, I found these flash drives. I said, I found another picture. So, oh my God. Like, I was like, yo, like, you sent all these pictures to dudes? You know, I had a boyfriend at the time. I was waiting for a long period of time. He got all those pictures. I'm like, it's too many flash drives. It's too many flash drives.
So what's wrong with that? It was it predated you.
No. The problem is, I told her, like, this is why I even had the podcast. I'm like, yo, if I become rich and I'm still with you, people got evidence that they did stuff with you. They could be like, look, I got this girl, this, that. So, you know, like for example, look at Cardi B. When Cardi B got famous, her naked pictures and stuff all over the internet.
So you can't be with somebody who?
Yes. No.
Okay.
No. I don't want her to be predisposed.
Can I ask why? Like what that does to you? It's embarrassing for you
because she's a regular person and I'm a regular person, and that make me look bad. Now it's different if it's about you. Now it's different if I'm a celebrity. Okay. She's a porn star, and I already know she's a porn star. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna kill you a porn star. I still want to be.
But don't the people that I know you guys were in a love situation, or at least it didn't sound like it. But the person that you love, you know, you take all those things. I just think it's very male of you to say.
I left her that day. I left her alone that day. I left her alone that day. You heard me? I left her alone that day.
It's very unfortunate. Because of your ego, because your male ego.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, at least
my ego, my pride, my integrity. Like I'm not gonna let you disrespect me that way.
How are you disrespected? Shit, it was before you. She wasn't thinking about y'all didn't know who each other was. That's wild. See, this one I'm talking about. Y'all feel like y'all have this hole in this. Y'all own us. Oh, it disrespecting me by not knowing you.
No, it's disrespectful.
Because if those pictures were for you, it'd be okay.
Like, if it was for me, it would never. I'm the type of dude that would never let it end up to a later day. Like you mentioned revenge porn earlier.
Yes, I did.
You know, like,
but you didn't have that happen.
No, didn't have that happen.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't go.
I don't know if her pictures ever ended online.
Right.
Like that.
She might have been the only ones with them. Yeah. You didn't even ask.
No, she said she only sent to one person.
Okay.
That God, but it was 13 memory cards.
And that's totally fine.
So like. I mean,
if they were to ever come out, it would be your job as her partner to support her through that because that's traumatizing.
No, I would not support her. I would have left her. Like, like for example, like the guy that stayed with that cop that slept the whole precinct. You know what I'm talking about? It was a couple like last year. She got fired. Then she ended up suing the precinct. But the husband stayed with her. The husband stayed with her. He said, "You're not leaving her." But dude, like
that's what a marriage is.
No.
Wait, was she cheated?
No, she was cheating. She was married and she was sleeping with all her coworkers at work. At work, inside the cars.
He would have the right to leave her because of the infidelity, but like, but if this predated him, it would be like I really now I can't trust you because I wish you had told. What else have you done before me? I just want to know. But I mean, I understand, huh?
But
I understand that it makes you uncomfortable, but it's interesting because I feel like I'm not even stereotyped when I say this. That was such a male thing for you to say. It was so yes.
It's a girl is in college and she having a time of her life.
Okay.
Racked up probably 300 bodies in college.
That's a lot.
And now she did. Now you find out though I got 300 bodies in college. Like, should a guy stay with that woman even though she had the 300 bodies?
Was she cheating?
No, she just got 300 bodies in college.
Who cares? She only getting 350 bodies. Who cares?
I got a high body count, but
so
still.
Who cares?
But like
whatever you did before me, as long as it was safe and it wasn't something you can get arrested for or get me arrested for, who cares? And as long as it didn't go against, like it wasn't anything creepy, like, oh, you used to be in the furries. That's just gonna make me weird. I would be like, oh, I'd be like, now I can't get. I know it's so true, but I'd be like, now I can't get it out of my head. And every time we do something, I think of a bunny rabbit. Now I can't look at bunny rabbit and stay. So that will work for me. I'd be like, keep that to yourself.
Oh my goodness.
But however many women you slept with, like it's okay. It predated me. Now if you're bringing along an STD that you can't get rid of, then that's something I need to know about. And the funny thing is, you don't even need to tell me how many people you slept with. I don't care about that because you only get that from one person unless you just slept with a bunch of people that had that. But like, typically it takes one person to give you STD. So that being said, I'd be like, forget the count. Like I need to know that you had this thing so we can move accordingly. It may mean me not being involved or it may mean, I need to be on something or whatever it is.
Yeah, but some STDs go away. That's forever.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
But if it's like like for example, Sexy Red, she had plenty of STDs. She admitted to that in her videos and interviews and stuff like that. She probably don't have it now, but she did have it at one point. So, but if now she was never tell nobody that, you would never know that she even had this in the past before.
If I said not everything needs to be said, but whatever. But yeah, no, I don't care about who you slept with before. Yeah, I could care less.
Yeah.
It was before, and then especially at our age, like, what's your body count supposed to be at 30 plus? Like 1?
No, you're totally right about that. It's just that's evidence. Do have pictures of your girl or your wife naked, even though it was 10 years ago.
Everybody comes from the past. Who's to say some woman doesn't have pictures of you while you sleep and your defenses are down? She could have been like, "Oh, his butt is out."
I made a video once.
I'm talking about involuntary, something you don't know exists. And I'll be like, I gotta leave him. His butt is on the internet. Like,
okay, you never know. You never know. Like, that's possible. I don't think it ever happened, but
I mean, I'm sure you would know about it by now. I think
it's possible, but
but also your butt wouldn't be attached to your face. They may not know it's yours. But
and that girl even used that for her defense. Like, you made a video with such and such before, but that video never ended up on the internet.
And neither did her pictures.
But we know, like,
same with you.
But we know.
I'm just saying. Sometimes y'all see it through the male lens instead of seeing it through the actual lens, which is everybody has a past. Everybody did things. I think being uncomfortable isn't necessarily the problem. I think the way we handle the discomfort and the reason why you're uncomfortable. So I'm gonna use the phrase one more time. It makes me uncomfortable because I'm not gonna be able to take you seriously knowing that. I'll be like, darn, I really want to, but I really can't stop thinking about furry bunnies. And that's not what I want to be thinking about. And now I can't get in the mood. So that's the reason why I wouldn't want to, right? But with the pictures, like that's something way more common that people do, especially if it's with someone that you trust, that you're with at the time. It doesn't even matter if it was a boyfriend or girlfriend, because husbands and wives break up all the time. And then those pictures are there. So that's why I'm like, you can't necessarily blame people for their past. And I think a lot of the time the man's reason for not wanting that is because you guys have a sense of ownership over us. And it's like, that's my ass on someone else's phone, and it's like I just can't deal with this. And it's like, but you think she can?
Yeah, I just didn't want that come back to me and all that.
And it shouldn't be about you. You know what I mean? Like
it shouldn't be about me.
It shouldn't be about you. It's her past. It's her past. And if you choose to be with a person, you choose to work again, as long as it's not breaking any laws or anything like that. You choose through thick and through thin. I got your back. You did this. You didn't do it while we were together. So, you know, but if anything, we're gonna take this man to court or whatever you do, because that's porn. That's revenge porn.
But how you know she's still not doing it though? That's
well, that just means you don't trust her then, so you shouldn't be with her.
No, I'm saying like,
so because she has pictures.
I'm not saying accuse her of doing it. I'm saying like hypothetically, she could still be sending pictures to people because you
could hypothetically still be taking videos.
That's an addiction right there.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. She had 13 memory cards.
That's not an addiction. That means. And how long was she with it? First of all, do you know how many selfies I can take in one vacation? Do you know how many? Like, let's be real. I was be away for a week and come back with 1,000 photos. All right.
Then who was taking the pictures of her? Like, because it wasn't her taking the pictures.
She could have had a tripod.
No tripod.
How do you know?
I was in the house
when she took the pictures of the other guy. I mean, saw her naked pictures that you think the guy had.
I'm saying I was not there when all the pictures was taken. But I'm saying I was in her house. And I've never seen a tripod in her house.
That don't mean anything.
See,
you jumping to conclusions now.
2-3 years of me going.
You are not a detective, okay? You're a regular guy. That being said, the tripod could have broke. It could have been his. She could have borrowed it. You can't be.
Somebody took those pictures.
I mean, that's very possible. And what's wrong with that? Because somebody took the video of you.
Actually, there's a person did took the video of me, but we was together and all that. And I think I took some of the video too. And I was
she. So basically, what you're saying, you're describing a consensual situation, and she was in a consensual situation. That in both of those situations has since expired. So that being said, neither one of you is in the wrong for having a past and having. Now, my thing is, I don't take pictures with anybody. I don't care if I'm married, because I just feel like even if you're not going to put them out maliciously, phones get stolen, things accidentally go and play. Oh crap! I meant to send this picture that was directly next to it. So I'm like, there's no room for that if nobody has it, right?
Upload it to the cloud.
But if that's something that you're into, that's totally your right. But you got to be extra. You got to be extra careful with that. Or sometimes you delete stuff. And it's like you said, you just mentioned the cloud, and it's like, oh, you delete it from your phone, but not the cloud. Like, you know, and then I'm like, if I die prematurely, my mom got to go through some stuff. She gonna find my stuff everywhere. Like, no, I don't want that.
Like I found it. Like I said, it wasn't like one flash drive. It was me cleaning flash drive.
Yeah, see, you being very judgmental.
Memory card.
Very judgmental.
And I'm like, y'all got like 13 of these. Like, we look at these. Like, crazy.
And if they were all for you, you'd be like, if they were dance videos for you, you'd be like, oh, this is totally fine.
I might like that.
Exactly.
I might like that.
Dang. See, y'all.
You got any last words? You want to close?
No last words. The only words I have are, I think I'm a male bash right now. I think y'all need to do a little bit better with considering why y'all act the way y'all do, and if it is in fact actually okay to act that way. And would you like someone to treat you the same way y'all treat other women? I'm just saying.
No, I don't want to be treated like that. I don't want to be treated like I did something shameful or embarrassing, especially if I wasn't ashamed of doing it at the time. Like you said, that person probably wasn't ashamed at the time. That person was in a consensual relationship. The person was like dating the person that she sent the videos to or pictures to. And I'm cool with all that. It's just that I don't want to have that baggage with me later on down the line. I don't want to be a millionaire and I'm sitting there and let's say no.
So could you be broke and it'd be okay?
Pictures going to, huh?
If you're broke, would it be okay in the future?
If I'm broke? Yeah, but like, if that's a problem because you could be, like, for example, that same girl, walking down the street with her, right? We went to the store. We went to the store, get like Dutchess or something like that. We leave back out the store. A dude says out his mouth, I can't wait till my turn to hit that. The exact words.
And why was it her fault?
No, it wasn't her fault.
Oh.
It wasn't her fault. And I stopped her. I said, yo, like, this is before the flash drives, the memory cards, before the memory cards. It's just me walking with her down the street. And I'm like, yo, heard what he said? She said, no. I said, he said he can't wait to hit that. Like, it's his turn to hit that. Like dude's got a dude got a pole for you or something like that. Like, she's like, oh, that's such and such. Like, don't round him. He's just joking. What? Like, right? That's my first red flag with her. That's my first red flag.
So
with
why
her.
is that?
You know,
I'm so confused as to why that's her fault.
it's not her.
You know how many people have said things to me?
No, for somebody to say, "I can't wait till it's my turn."
Yes, y'all be real disrespectful.
That means he know people that hit it.
Not necessarily.
Or
do you and I'm speaking to you as a woman, right?
I'm speaking to you as a man.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about, but nobody's saying that to you. Nobody's saying I can't wait for me until my turn to hit that. That's weird. So that being said, I'm saying as a woman who's had wild things said to them and has friends who have had wild things said to them just for no reason, that don't mean anything.
So I said I jumped to the conclusion.
No, I mean
that
no.
she was going around letting people hit it.
No, absolutely not. Because if that was the case, I'm sleeping with every homeless man I pass. I swear to God, I'm not. Like, there's men that I've actually, like, I dated some guy in high school. We never slept together, not once. That particular guy, no. We were around each other. We dated. I never slept with him. But somebody would assume, huh?
Yeah, but you told people that?
No, he didn't. He was a gentleman.
Okay.
But I mean, he easily could have, because it would have been believable.
Yeah.
Because we were dating.
Yeah.
You know, like he would pick me up from school, from the house. He would walk. We went to completely different schools, and he would walk me to the bus stop and then go to his school. So one would think he would buy me Valentine's Day gifts like that, you know. But I never slept with him. Meanwhile, there's people that you would have no idea that I did sleep with. Like, and then also, thank God, I don't think. Let me think real quick. I haven't had any person like that I've been around. Thank God, say that I have slept with them and I didn't, but it doesn't mean that other people don't assume it.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. Luckily, I don't have to deal with that, but I don't think it's fair as and here's the thing. Do women assume that guys are sleeping with other women? Yes. But that doesn't prevent us from sleeping with you.
Yeah.
The issue is because it's this double standard where it's like, oh, you must have slept with him, so now I can't touch you, as if you wanted a virgin.
Yeah.
But y'all don't want virgins.
I think it's the opposite. I think if a woman thinks or knows you sleeping with another woman, she wants you more.
No, I mean in the past.
Oh, okay.
In the past.
Okay.
Like, it's not like you slept with women. Well, how many women? I'm not gonna sleep with you. If anything, we're like,
yeah. You're right about that. You're right about that.
It's like a badge of honor for y'all. But meanwhile, if I say I slept with 10 guys, depending on who you are, and I'm like, well, how many guys you supposed to have slept with at 30?
Just the emotional aspect. Like, I slept with a lot of women, and I never had no feelings. I had feelings for 3 women my whole life. In my 36 years of life, I only had feelings for 3 women, where I actually say I love them or I was in love with them. And really, one of them don't even count. But
wait, why not?
Because I think that was more like lust, like more lust and infatuation.
Oh, okay.
You know,
how long did it last?
A long time, very long time.
Well, then it may not have been. Lust don't last that damn long.
No, I say that because feelings was never really there. It was just at that time I just wanted a female. I just wanted to be like, I got this girl, I got this girlfriend, this and that. Like, it wasn't that I really had any real feelings for her. I wasn't in love with her or nothing like that. So then once we split up, I realized like I had no good memories of this girl. Like none. Every memory I got of her is horrible. It's red flags all day, toxic. So I don't think, if I say I don't count that one. But the other 2, yes, definitely I was in love with them. I wanted to be with them. I wanted to have kids with them. I wanted to marry them. No ifs, ands, and buts. The rest is just bodies. There's bodies that's just there. Half of them I don't remember their names. And
that's,
you know,
that's not good. But it's okay.
Yeah. You know.
And if I was a female saying that, you'd be like, you would sleep with men and you don't remember their names, I'd be a hoe. Right? Which, by the way, I don't actually believe in the term hoe. I feel like you sleep with whoever you sleep with. You could be a cheater and you could be insecure, because some people sleep around, a lot of men included, sleep around because they're insecure. Men, women as well, but people assume it's women, right? But people aren't paying attention to the fact that not you necessarily, but men who sleep around and constantly need that validation of, oh, I need to have sex and be wanted. That's an insecurity. So I don't believe in the term whore. If I say it, it's because I just want to say something rude. But like the reality is like, okay, a person that sleeps with a lot of people, was it consensual? Were you being deceitful? Then okay, like do what you want.
I totally agree with you. I did an interview with somebody named Big Sarge. He was a relationship coach, and we was talking about a guy I know where he sleep with a lot of women, like probably different. Probably just, I won't say different women every night, but he can sleep with a woman every night if he wanted to.
Okay,
you know, if not a different woman, a same woman, or most of the women that repeats. You know, so, but I think he used that to validate himself. because I don't think he can be alone with himself. I don't think he actually could be celibate for a year or a couple months.
Yeah.
I think he must have a female in his life or in his
some
company.
type of distraction.
Yeah, in his company. Like, for example, he put himself in debt. So he lost his job, and his comment was he refused to do any other job that he didn't go to school for. So since he went to school for computers, he must have a job working with computers. And
Regardless of the debt.
Regardless of the debt.
Okay.
So for a whole year, he didn't work. So he kept borrowing from like Dave, Big Rigid, Earn It app. Then he used his credit cards. So by the time he got a job back, he cashed in his 401k, paid his back rent with that, but he still backed up a little bit. Discover over 10 grand. Capital One he owed over 15,000. And then he had other debts. And I'm like, yo, why would you do this to yourself? He's like, I was going to the bar and I had having the girls come over, that. So you couldn't stop that for 1 minute? You couldn't stop that for 6 months, a year?
Yeah.
And then the working your finance, you went in debt over females? That's bugged out to me. And I told him, I said, yo, you bugged out. You went in debt over females.
Would it be another thing that would have been appropriate for?
If he would have did something positive, like I went in debt starting the company, you know, I fixed that over time, but like it was not, I didn't do it over a female. I did it to try to make myself better, try to actually, you know, get some more finance myself and so on. So, and then I was not in so much debt as he was. He's over $20,000 in debt.
That's crazy.
And his last paycheck getting garnished.
Because I will say, like, I hear you over females, but if he was shopping, it'd have been stupid.
No, it's different. You got to provide. I don't understand. You got to buy food.
No, I mean, like, there's some people that have spending problems. Like they live outside of their means, regardless of who they're trying to impress. And it's like you didn't have to go on 5 vacations in 1 year.
You didn't have to buy those Louis Vuittons. You didn't have to buy those Gucci's.
Yeah. Okay.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. But I mean, I think any time you're going into debt and it's not related to bettering yourself or maybe you were just hit a hard time, because I was in debt a few years ago, like right out of college, because I didn't find a job that paid enough right after school. I think I hit like 10,000, but as soon as I got the right job, it took me a year to get out of it, right? But that was because I just couldn't get a job that paid me enough. So that was fine. I mean, it wasn't fine. It didn't feel fine. But like, you know, if someone were to say, well, why were you in debt? It totally made sense, right? And you said you were starting a business. Totally makes sense. You have to, unfortunately, you had to lose some to win some. But when it comes to other frivolous things, keeping up with the Joneses, or, you know, to look a certain way on IG,
high, drinking,
shopping for clothes, like you only got one body. How many outfits do you need to buy for however many $20,000? Some people go into debt for the strip club. Okay,
and that's always happens. Drinking, strip club, women. Like he'll buy a bottle of Henny and drink it by himself in the house. You know.
My man's was stressed.
You know, stuff like that. No, and then, the guy I told you about earlier, and I was like, he's not with us no more. That was his brother. You know, so like I think he used that as validation.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think he could be alone at all. And it's like even when we work together, he'd be like, oh no, I got a girl coming over, I can't do that. Like you're gonna miss out on money. Just so you can have sex with a girl.
But I will say this is a little comforting, because I feel like oftentimes when I see that, thank God they're none of my friends, but when I see that, it's more often women. In my experience, like I said, where it's just like, you can't just not see him or do this for a day. Like it can't just be all girls. You gotta, I gotta get back to him. And I just be like, yeah, it's not for me. And I can't say, I think none of my friends are like that because I don't tolerate it. I had a boyfriend all throughout college, and the one thing that I was so proud to say after we broke up was all my friends were still there because I made time for both. I made a point. I handle work, school, friends, boyfriend. And you know, I'm not gonna say inevitably relationships end, because that's not necessarily the case. But in college, you're not really expected to get married, right? So I was just so happy to be like, you know, like we didn't have to pick up where we left off. But I am not that friend where you meet a guy or a woman, whatever, and you suddenly don't have time for this friendship, I well don't find me when it's over then. I'm not a depending on what you're into type of friend. I'm not saying we got to spend every day together, but if I say, oh, let's hang out for the first time in 6 months, oh well, he has to do this and he that. I'm like, you know what, girl, it's fine. He could be your bestie. Call me petty, but
I totally agree.
So it's just nice to hear that a guy was doing something like that. And I'm like, oh, good. It's not just us.
Thank you for joining us on Uncomfortable Truth Podcast. I hope this is very delightful. I'm your co-host, Lamar Royster.
I'm your co-host, Lindsay.
And thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Thank you.